actually the first person I wanted to call in the podcast. मैले भन्दै नि
हजुर,
I think
yeah.
जिमखानाको fight night
True,
हुने
we
बेला,
talked about it a long time ago.
we'll do this भनेर before the first lockdown
हजुर,
phase kind of त्यो fight night भइरहेको बेला
Yeah.
अनि हाम्रो सुरु गर्ने प्लान थियो साकार छ नि द ऱ्यापर
Yeah, yeah.
सो उसले चाहिँ पडकास्ट गरौँ भने वी वैन randomly ओपन द च्यानल के
Oh,
बेसिकली सो ऊ फर्स्ट भयो अनि त्यसपछि लेट्स क्यारी अन त्यस्तो
Oh.
राम्रो पनि हुँदो रहेछ रमाइलो पनि हुँदो रहेछ भनेर सो अ भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट गेस्ट फर अस होइन हाम्रो टिममा एकजना बेनिट भाइ छ उसले चाहिँ राहुलको आयो भने चाहिँ म हेर्छु अरू मैले हेरेको छैन भन्छ उसले चाहिँ प्याराडाइमको सोज गर्छ क्या
Okay.
अनि हाम्रो ग्रुपमा पनि लाइक हाई डिमान्ड मान्छे हो सो थ्याङ्क यू म्यान
Thank you too, brother, and thank you to your bhai as well.
So we met, of course, Fight Night ko
हजुर.
throughबाट हामी भेट्यो होला. I think we did a couple of shoots जिमखानामा अनि awesome place
Yes.
होइन. So अलिकति just a brief introduction of yourself and कसरी सुरु भयो अलिकति मात्रै भनिदिन्छ.
So yeah, I'm the co-founder and executive director of Gymkhana, and also the main promoter for Gymkhana Fight Nights. This has been this is what I do. This has been my life. I've been doing this for 13 years. Gymkhana, I think, मेरो 6th gym होला.
6th हो?
Yeah. पहिला नि थियो gyms, but नेपालमा चाहिँ थिएन. I started in India. I met my coach there. He was Dutch, and I started with him. And train गर्दा गर्दै got better. Then he said, "Do you want to take classes?" भन्यो. And I was broke. I was a student, man. So I was like, sure. I didn't have to pay for training anymore, okay, if I was teaching classes. So and then I started taking classes. Then eventually he was like, why don't you come in as a partner, भन्यो. And then त्यो गर्दा finally got here, man.
Wait a minute. Ani this gymkhana that we know about,
हजुर.
you co-founded it
Yes.
with someone.
Yes.
अनि यसमा इन्भेस्ट पनि आफै गरे हो कि
Yes.
लाइक यु ए हो
Yes.
Shit, bro. Sorry to say that it looks like a rich kid who's not struggled at all. त्यो चाहिँ पाउँथेँ मैले with the pickup truck that I am so envious about. अनि चिलमा छ लाइफ रिच किड होला ब्रोले खोलिदिइहाल्यो जिम
No.
होइन सरी टु अज्युम बट
No,
कुनैले
that's
कुनै
fine.
पर्छ नि त होइन
हजुर.
ओके there's a story man sorry man
No, man, like I wasn't born with a silver spoon. My parents, of course, they're hardworking Nepali parents, and our parents always go the extra mile to give us more than what they can give us, actually. So they did that, but the best thing they gave me was their blind support. Okay? So when my dad was a educationist, my mom's an educationist.
okay
So there's no silver spoon in education. And
wow that was such a illusion रहेछ मेरो लागि त okay
yeah, so I worked for everything I have, man, and I'm still working. And
होइन you've got that के भन्छ त्यो लायन क्यारेक्टर छ क्या ब्रो विथ द फकिङ प्राइड होइन सबै
Thank you.
जिमखानामा सबैजना आउँछ राहुल दाई भन्ने बित्तिकै छ नि त सो अफकोर्स नाउ इट मेक्स सरी नाउ इट मेक्स सेन्स इन्डियामा लाइक 6 जिम भन्नाले लाइक 5वटा चाहिँ उतै थियो इन्डियामा
yeah, man, हाम्रो first gym was in a basement, and it was अब त्यो छिर्ने बित्तिकै डर लाग्थ्यो क्या.
लाइक यु रियली यङ
Yeah. This was not really young. I started Muay Thai relatively late for a Muay Thai fighter. I started like 2021 हुँदाखेरि, I think.
Okay.
And then, so when I first walked into the gym, I was like, man, this place looks scary. हुन्छ नि the dungeons जस्तो के underground, and then there's tough looking guys there. But त्यो गर्दै गर्दै जाँदाखेरि, so once my coach and me, we started working together. Things started clicking. Okay? So हाम्रो एउटा gymबाट we opened up another one in India नै. So we had 2 in Delhi. And then गर्दै जाँदाखेरि we opened one in Goa, which was the biggest mistake of my life.
I was going to say wow
It was a good life, रमाइलो थियो. But my coach was always like, he was Dutch and he loved being by the beach and everything. So he'd be like, Thailand मा त चल्छ होइन by the beach, so we got to open a gym by the beach भनेर. We did that, which was completely
such
stupid.
an easy place to get distracted man
Yeah, and plus nobody comes there to work out.
yeah
When you think about it, Goa, at least back then, 2010, who was there to work out? Nobody was there. Plus Muay Thai, combat sports, man, त्यस्तो ठुलो थिएन नि. अहिले पो UFC is on free TV, and at least in our region, and so everybody's into
it's
it.
the sport होला सबभन्दा one of I think the most watched हो अहिले I don't
The
know
fastest growing sport in the world, man. It's definitely, and the way they came up from nothing also, okay? So त्यो गरेर then we went to Goa, then we made a big mistake. So I hit rock bottom there, where like खाना खाने पनि पैसा थिएन. And it was
हो?
yeah, it was crazy, man.
but you had other gyms it was
So my gyms.
This was a bigger one. That's
हजुर.
investment धेरै थियो होला. Okay.
So we put in all our money into Goa and gyms in
Whose
Delhi.
idea was it?
My coach, man. He's such a crazy. Moktan paउँछ?
पाउँछ.
Because it's hard for me to. He was a crazy guy. So he was like garum भने and we built a really big place. And पछि गएर he messed it up त्यहाँनिर पनि. Then Delhiको gyms were doing fine, but then so what we were doing was every penny that Delhi was making, we were sending into Goa to keep it afloat. Okay? And eventually, my coach and me, we split ways, and I was like, all right, I'll handle Delhi. But I came back to Delhi, ran the gyms again.
You studied there in India?
हजुर. Well, I went there to study. Studied to no, but nobody's accused me of that. So त्यो गऱ्यो, and then when I came back to Delhi, I met this really good friend of mine, and him and me, we teamed up. And he cross-trained Fight Club, and it's like, yeah, so if anybody's in Delhi, you should check out Cross-Train Fight Club if you want to do MMA training or jiu-jitsu training and stuff. Sid's really good there. So त्यहाँबाट then work गर्दै put everything together, and yeah, pretty much got you that way.
You were raised here?
Yeah.
And then you planned म नेपालमै गएर गर्छु?
Yeah, so I went to India to study, but then I fell in love with Muay Thai there, and then I just spent 7 years training, man.
India?
No, I was in Thailand, India.
Okay.
So I was training, fighting, and after 7 years, my parents are getting old, and I want to spend time with my family. And at the end of the day, Nepal is home, and home is where the heart is. So Nepal फर्केर आउने भन्यो, and then यहाँ फर्केर आए पनि it wasn't like a straight path, man. It was a lot of curves. Okay? So यहाँ फर्केर आएर first I was like, maybe I'll go study again, maybe I'll go abroad. Everybody goes through that, and it's my mom who's like. One day she called me, she's like, Sora, you're a Muay Thai fighter and this is what you do, so why don't you make a life out of that? Because this is the only thing I honestly know how to do.
Wow, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And that's how it took off.
Can you like अलिकति त्यसको technicalities or like how did you find the location? Or like यसको जिम खानाको पनि story छ कि like because that's a location जुन चाहिँ maybe त्यतिखेर त्यस्तो prime थिएन, now it's such a prime location.
Yeah, for sure. अहिले त यस्तो जाम हुन्छ. Yeah, man. So location was a big problem नि. म भैँसीपाटीसम्म पुगेको थिएँ नि. I'd been looking for months and months, and then finally I found one spot in Bhaisipati, and I live like Narantan, man.
Okay.
So I was like, fine, whatever, गरिदिन्छु भनेर. And त्यहाँनिर on the day of the contract signing, something went wrong with the landlords, and they were like, नगरौँ भन्यो. And then cafes. I used to teach at other gyms as well, okay, in Kathmandu. Not like for anything, but just मलाई Muay Thai गरिरहनु पनि it would be an opportunity, and I could teach as well. So त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ one of the students from my class, he's like, एउटा जग्गा छ, you want to check that out? त्यहाँ गएको त it was a dump, man. It was a total dump. And it took a lot of time to build. Like, it took us a lot of time to build. It took us 1 year and 1 day to build the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's no compromise there. Okay? It's such a perfect place. Okay.
Thank you, bro.
This is the best place to work out in Nepal.
Thank you, bro.
And from what 8-12 कति% jacuzzi देखि लिएर I think के थियो पछाडि locker room हरु हैन we actually came एउटा shoot को लागि के.
Yes, I remember.
I think नेहा नै थियो. नेहा नै something honey को ad को लागि थियो.
Yes,
no, I think before.
Okay.
Long time before. I think त्यो बेला मलाई कसैले चिन्दैन थियो.
For the Dabur Honey, bro, I don't think there's a time when people didn't know you.
No. It was very. I think I don't know if I was doing YouTube or not. It was like a long time back. अनि किशोर कयस दाइ हुनुहुन्थ्यो अनि नेहाको कतिवटा होर्डिङ बोर्डमा अहिले पनि छ नि नेहाले पञ्च गर्यो त्यसमा फिल्म हलमा बज्छ अनि त्यसमा मेरो छ डाबर हनी
that's nice, man.
So long time back जब चाहिँ म असिस्टहरु गर्थे एड्सहरुमा गर्थे सो त्यतिखेर चाहिँ आथ्यो अनि वाउ यो ठाउँ त फिल्ममै बनाउन मिल्छ यार त I actually have an idea. I think I've told you before कि एउटा यस्तो खतरा टाइपको मुभी हुन्छ नि एउटा जाबो उस मात्रै छ तर there's an idea that हुन्छ नि किनकि फाइटिङ इज सच अ कल्चर के
ट्रु
अनि नेपाली ब्लडमा फर सम रिजन त्यो छ के
100%
एट आवर टाइम्स एटलिस्ट यो कुरा मैले अस्ति नितेश आउँदाखेरि पनि गरेको थिएँ कि किनकि उसको त his jaw does not like function properly अहिलेसम्म के पहिला धेरै झगडा गर्ने हाम्रो एकअर्कालाई कलेजदेखि चिन्थ्यो नि त थाहा छ नि त सो त्यो बेला झगडा गर्ने कल्चर धेरै थियो नि त थ्याङ्क गड
he's like the sweetest person alive.
Exactly हैन तर guys go through that stage नि
true
adolescence that टिनमा आई एम द बेस्ट भन्ने टाइम धन्न अहिले छैन थ्याङ्क गड अहिले त्यो छैन तर
Man, he's so strong. If he was like that right now, people would be in trouble.
Yeah.
He's so strong. Like
He's
he used to
strong,
come
man.
to Gymkhana at one point. And it's so hard for me to picture him like how you said, because he's so soft spoken and so he's like a total gentleman.
एक्ज्याक्टली
Yeah, and he's strong though. Huh?
हिज
very strong.
मैले अस्ति नै भनेको थिएँ उसँग त्यस्तै फिजिकली त्यस्तै के सुट गर्दाखेरि थियो क्या अनि दिस गट गुड पावर ब्रो
Yeah.
बिल्ट जिन्समै राम्रो छ कि
Yeah,
अलरेडी
उसको त्यो body structurally it kind of says that he's strong.
ब्रक लेसनर ने फाइट्स आउँछ नि स्पिड पनि छ फुटबल पनि खेल्छ राम्रो दौडिन्छ नि त
Okay.
एक्चुली राम्रै दौडिन्छ क्या फास्टै दौडिन्छ क्या फर हिज फिजिक त्यो साइजमा त्यो पाउनु नेपालीको लागि त फर्चुनेट नै हो
He's an athlete, man.
जिमखाना आइरहेको थियो तर आई थिङ्क उस भैँसी पानी बस्छ नि त त्यही भएर यसलाई धेरै टाढा पऱ्यो होला क्या
Yeah, त्यही भएर so I don't know, man. Let's see. I might just we might even build a new one.
ब्रान्च आउट या
Yeah. So that's in the plan. That's we've been thinking about it, but branch नगऱ्यो भने पनि let's see, man. Like I know that it can be better, okay? So मलाई चाहिँ I feel like there's room for improvement still, and I want to make that improvement as like so. I've been planning on it for a while now. Hopefully, I'll have some good news very soon.
द्याट प्लेस अलोन इज सच अ बिग इन्भेस्टमेन्ट जस्तो लाग्छ कि फर सम वान द्याट यङ कति वर्ष भयो खोलेको यो
अब 5th year भयो.
5th year है
4 years भयो.
ए 4 years भयो
हजुर.
ए ओके नयाँ खोल्ने बेला आएको थियो होला नि त्यसमा
Yeah.
ओके 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 सो ओके अनि there's so much of investment कि कसरी like how did you do it if you're okay to say like लोन लिएर गर्छु भनेर गऱ्यो कि you borrowed money कि you had it saved कि
A little bit of everything, man. A little bit of everything. So at one point I was doing the whole thing on my own, okay? And I'd reached a point where like financially I just run out of everything. I was completely out of money. And मैले चाहिँ खासै I never wanted to do a partnership kind of business because I'm a bit weird.
skeptical पनि हुन्छ नि
Yeah,
फर्स्ट टाइम
yeah.
पार्टनरशिप गर्दाखेरि
Oh,
कि
true.
like why split
And त्यस्तो कहिले पनि गरेको थिएन पहिला my only other partner was my coach होइन so with him it was we always had this underlying respect अनि मैले चाहिँ खासै के गर्ने भनेर बसिरहेको थिएँ and then my partner कर्म दाइ he met me at a wedding क्या अनि दाइको पनि it's a funny story because I got to give him respect क्या because when there was nobody interested in this मैले त गरेँ 12-13 वर्ष भयो नि त so 13 years ago when I was doing it Karma Dai used to message me like bhai you doing Muay Thai one day we have to do it in Nepal हामीले जिम खोल्नु पर्छ नेपाली फाइटर्स बनाउनुपर्छ त्यो टाइमदेखि भन्नुहुन्थ्यो and even when I came back to Nepal he was like he'd seen me teaching and he was like bhai should we do a gym together and I told you I was thinking of going abroad so like दाइ मेरो त बाहिर जाने प्लान छ वेडिङमा भेटेँ then he's like bhai what are you doing and I was like दाइ यस्तो गर्दैछ he's like okay let's do this together it's perfect timing क्या perfect time I'd run out of money
thank
and
god you went कसको wedding thank god you went
thank god I went for
you
that
look like someone who would avoid weddings
100%. Yeah, if I could, I would avoid my own wedding.
we all wish man
So Dhanna, I went for that wedding, and then he's someone I respect a lot. Pahiladekhi anyway. So I was like, okay, if it's someone I can respect, then it's someone I can work with. Banera.
Wow.
We got into it, and that's how it took off, man.
I think it went for the better role अनि partnership गरेर it's on stress maybe management उहाँको के थियो कि
No, I do the entire thing.
so he's the investor
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing. That is like, I trust you. This is what you do. You
exactly what you need
Yeah, 100%.
यो त
Yeah, so it was like God sent by
exactly त्यही
Yeah.
त अनि फर्स्टमा त आउँदाखेरि मान्छेहरू पनि ओहो यस्तो यस्तो भयो भनेर भन्यो कि हिट राम्ररी नै सुरु भयो
Good and bad, man. Hate culture छ नि जे भए पनि. So I mean, there's always people who's like, so हाम्रो चाहिँ join the revolution थियो क्या the tagline, and it was like, this is a fitness revolution, so join the revolution. And I used to go around saying, this is a fitness revolution. We're going to one day have a nation full of fit people one day. And I have a lot of people who's like, what revolution? के गर्छस् तैँले के पनि गर्दैनस् तैँले यस्तो महँगो छ यहाँ you know, there's always something to talk about नि like your gym's so expensive and this that. I'm like, yeah, but the work I've put into it is also there नि त
the equipments man मैले अरू ठाउँमा त देखाएको छैन
So यस्तो पनि हो क्या bro, like I honestly feel like the equipment and यताउति people can buy होइन, but my life's work you can't buy नि, you can't fake that नि त. Like you've been doing this for so long, you know. There are many who try to do the same, right? And there are many who'll come in with more money, who'll come in with better, fancier equipment. But at the end of the day, your life's work is your life's work. No one can take that away from you.
Oh, thanks bro.
And I believe that I've put in that work too, yeah? So when I go in there, like, I'm not, यो महँगो त्यो भनेको नि आइएम सिम्पली सेङ लुक म्यान दिस इज वाट आई फिल माई वर्क इज वर्थ यु नो इफ आइम गोइङ टु पिटा खाएर सिक्यो भने त मुइथाई त मुइथाई इज नट समथिङ यु क्यान जस्ट लाइक हेरेर युट्युब गरेर यु क्यान लर्न मुइथाई यु गट गेट यर एस किक्ड एभ्री फकिङ डे म्यान अनि त्यत्रो गरेर आफ्टर अल द्याट my thinking was like, okay, I've put in all of this and a lot of money, man, which most of it I don't have. I'm still paying back that money. I told you, I'm not like some silver spoon baby, man. So I'm still working for it every day to keep that dream alive. Even now, I wake up in the morning and I put on my boots and I go to work so I can keep that dream alive. And so there's a lot of factors that come in. But like I said, I mean, I don't expect everybody to understand. But there's a lot of hate also. Yo garis, त्यो गरिस् man. But culture त बढ्यो नि त.
Is it global? When you started in India, त्यहाँ पनि हुन्थ्यो कि like is it a Nepal thing?
Globally हो इन्डियामा नि हुन्थ्यो तर maybe because we're a smaller country and we're close knit that way. So हाम्रो त्यो close knit is a blessing and a curse I think sometimes. होइन because नेपालीहरू नेपाललाई हुन्छ कस्तो सपोर्ट पनि गर्छ नि त. At the end of the day, we are there for our countrymen man and we know they're there for us. But at the same time खुट्टा तान्ने नि हामी नै हुन्छ क्या.
I think त्यो चाहिन्छ पनि नि त beginning मा to make you stronger mentally also.
True, I guess so, yeah.
It builds you up, होइन?
Yeah, you're right.
अनि the fighters that you were looking for हुन्छ नि त्यो भेटाउने प्रोसेस चाहिँ लाइक जिम खोल्यो people started coming. I pretty sure पहिला बिग शट जसको चाहिँ पैसा छ उसले नै हालेर बिस्तारै बिस्तारै आयो तर the beautiful part about जिम खाना what I love is फाइट्सहरू हुन अगाडि हामी खिच्न आएको थियो कि सुट गर्न आएको थियो त्यतिखेर यु ह्याड अ फ्यु म्याट्रेसेस माथि अनि केटाहरूलाई राखिदिइरहेको छ क्या बेसिकली यु गिभिङ थिङ प्लिज किनकि फाइटर्सहरू कतिजना त बाटोमा झगडा गर्दै हिँडेर मान्छे हो नि त तर त्यो पनि राम्ररी युटिलाइज गर्यो भने त ट्यालेन्टलाई नि युटिलाइज गर्यो भने कहीँ जान सक्छ आई नो यो ड्रिम यु वान सी अ नेपाली फाइटर इन द ग्लोबल स्टेज वान डे
100%.
द्याट्स समथिङ आई क्यान रिलेट टु मैले पनि कोही फिल्म मेकरहरू देखेँ भने द्याट वुड kind of be my success also.
Exactly.
So how does this finding a fighter this process go?
So
Raul, can you pull the mic a little closer or maybe come a little closer?
So हाम्रो कस्तो हुन्थ्यो नि basically I just brought the same culture that I was brought up in fighting. हामी थाइल्यान्डमा हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ so of course there's the fancy camps where you go and then you pay and then you live in a villa close by and then that's your Muay Thai holiday भन्छ क्या थाइल्यान्डमा चाहिँ where you come for like 2-3 weeks and Muay Thai पनि गऱ्यो हलिडे पनि गऱ्यो but the real fightersलाई चाहिँ के गर्थ्यो भने हामीले कस्तो थियो क्याम्पमा सुताउँथ्यो कि अनि एउटा रुम हुन्थ्यो maybe like around this big and 6-7 म्याट हुन्थ्यो कि about this thick and you would sleep there होइन अनि यो म्याट if this is the mat and that's the wall that's the wall and this is the mat that wall right above your mat is your space के that's a photo shoot तास्ने त्यस्तो but गाह्रो हुन्थ्यो it wasn't fun but at the same time it was a lot of fun man it was the best days of my life because त्यहाँनिर you're every day you wake up next to like 6-7 killers के and their mindset just rubs off on you so the way they get up and they train it rubs off on you के अनि मेरो पनि त्यही थियो कि if the guys all stay together and they all train together there's always going to be one guy who's the alpha there everybody else will level up you know and त्यो level up भएपछि त the guy who's at that peak he has to work harder नि त and it's a never dying circle okay where you keep growing you keep getting better as a martial artist as a fighter and as a human being as a teammate because being part of a team is very important ni ta you get that's how you learn social skills भन्ने नै हो नि त being part of a team so त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I just it keeps them out of trouble it keeps them out of the streets it keeps them away from drugs and bad influence हैन मेरो आँखाको अन्डर हुन्छ and they chose to do it के not like यतिमार यहाँ बस्नै पर्छ भन्ने हैन they're like they can we stay here हामीले बाहिर distraction भयो भने
like a close camp
yeah so there we have a small restaurant त्यस्तै छ नि पहिला बाहिर किचन त्यहाँनिर चाहिँ खाना साना पकाउने and then they would stay there
oh that's such an awesome place पछाडिपट्टिको पार्ट पनि घाप दिँदै आनन्द
that's an awesome
that's some the kind of place that I would dream of मेरो वर्क स्पेस पनि त्यस्तो होस् भनेर
yeah
someday अनि अहिले चाहिँ what do you think the situation is अब ल्याउन त ल्यायो कोभिड भयो फाइट नाइट्स भइरहेको छैन क्यान वी गेट देयर अल्सो फाइट नाइट्स कुरा गर्न मिल्छ थाहा छैन भने भनिदिउँ म अडियन्स किनकि कतिलाई थाहा पनि होला छैन होला इट्स बेसिकली बक्सर्सदेखि लिएर मुay थाईदेखि लिएर आई थिङ्क मिक्स्ड इभेन्ट थियो है आई थिङ्क देयर वाज अ बिट अफ एभ्रिथिङ
हजुर 4 बक्सिङ एन्ड 4 मुay थाई फाइट
या सो सच अ कुल इभेन्ट हुन्थ्यो अनि मैले एक्सपिरियन्स फर्स्ट आई थिङ्क जिम खानामै भएको थियो
हजुर या
अनि त्यसपछि द गाइज ब्रड इट टु एलओडीमा चाहिँ लाइट्सदेखि लिएर सबै कुरा हेर्दाखेरि त लाइक त्यो युएफसी नै भइरहेको छ त्यो इभेन्टको अनि त्यो एन्ट्रेन्सदेखि लिएर म्युजिकमा एन्ट्रेन्स इट वाज किनकि साउन्ड पनि त्यहाँको बप्पाले छ नि त सो एभ्रिथिङ फिट इन सो वेल मलाई चाहिँ दिस इज गन बी द नेक्स्ट बिग थिङ जस्तो लागेको थियो कि मेबी द कन्ट्री इज नट रेडी फर इट तर इफ यु जस्ट किप अन डुइङ इट आई थिङ्क त्यो खतरा हुन्छ अनि वी सर्ट समथिङ मेरो इन्स्टाग्राम पेजमा हालेको थिएँ मान्छेहरूले हो नेपालमा नि यस्तो हुन्छ त्यो थियो कि फिल आयो कोभिडले हिट गर्यो प्लस वाट एल्स बिकेम अ हर्डल यो इभेन्टमा चाहिँ
सो द होल इभेन्ट नै खास हर्डल हो क्या टु बी अनेस्ट आई मिन आई वाज टेलिङ यु राइट बिफोर सर इट टेक्स अ लट आउट अफ मी क्या नट जस्ट फाइनेन्शियली इट टेक्स अ लट आउट अफ मी एन्ड लाइक यु सेड वेयर नट क्वाइट देयर येट क्या एज अ नेसन हामी अब जस्तो जुन लेभलमा हामीले नेपालमा वी माइट वाच क्रिकेट अर फुटबल वी डोन्ट रियली वाच फाइट्स अन द्याट लेभल क्या एन्ड द्याट्स नट बिकज अफ एनिथिङ इट्स जस्ट यहाँ त्यो कल्चरै छैन नि त हाम्रो स्ट्रङ मार्सल आर्ट्स ब्याकग्राउन्ड अफकोर्स 25 years ago हाम्रो बक्सर्स वर फिनोमिनल होइन इन द रिजन
ए हो
या पहिला त हाम्रो बक्सिङ टिम कता छ नेपाली बक्सिङ टिम त
जितिया हुन्थ्यो साफ गेम्सहरूमा
या दे वर रियली गुड म्यान अनि तर इभल्भ भएन त्यही आई गेस आई डोन्ट नो वाट ह्यापन अनि सो या त्यस्तो थियो बट इट वाज जस्ट लाइक सो फर मी टु सेल इट वाज अ हार्ड सेल फ्रम द बिगिनिङ नै इट्स नट लाइक ए फाइट हुँदैछ भने भरेर मान्छे आउने होइन क्या एन्ड त्यसले गर्दाखेरि वान त आई न्यू द्याट वाज लाइक गोइङ टु टेक टाइम एन्ड द्याट वाज समथिङ द्याट मैले एक्सेप्ट गरेर नै गएको थिएँ क्या यो चाहिँ लसै हुन्छ सुरुमा वाज लाइक त्यो इट्स देयर नि होइन इन द बिगिनिङ इज कैन टेक अ वाइल आफ्टर वाइल विल पिक अप बट द थिङ इज इट वाज नेभर डन फर द मनी आई नेभर डिड इट फर द मनी इट वाज डन बिकज अब प्लेटफर्म थिएन नि त कहीँ पनि फाइट गर्ने गइरहेको थिएन इफ आई वुड सी माई बोइज ट्रेनिङ एभ्री डे होइन ब्रदर एन्ड दिस ब्रेक्स माई हार्ट क्या लाइक दे बी ट्रेनिङ लाइक म्याड एभ्री डे not knowing when they get to compete next. Imagine that, man. That's a very sick feeling from inside. How long can you keep going on like that? You have family to feed, you have responsibilities. When you start, you might be 16, 17, you know? But after you reach like 23, 24, the घरमा सोध्न थाल्छ नि त के गरिरहेछस् यो यसो त हुँदैन and I think we've lost a lot of talent like that okay, over the years. I think we could have had some phenomenal fighters, phenomenal athletes नै but त्यो चाहिँ हाम्रो अपर्च्युनिटी वी लस्ट द्याट अपर्च्युनिटी क्या बिकज प्लेटफर्म थिएन सो लाइक ओके म्यान यसरी त हुँदैन त्यही भएर जिमखानामै गर्ने भनेर फर्स्ट जिमखाना फाइट नेट ह्यापन इन जिमखाना क्या लाइक लेट्स जस्ट मेक इट वेयर वी क्यान पे द गाइज स्पोन्सरसिप गर्ने विल लुक फर स्पोन्सर्स पायो भने पाएन भने टिकटबाट जति पनि पैसा उठ्छ विल जस्ट गिभ द फाइटर्स एन्ड इफ यू क्यान पुल दिस अफ एभ्री 3 months देन अर सुरुमा 3 months देन 1 month देन मेबी एभ्री 2 weeks देन अ फाइटर क्यान से दिस इज माई जब नि त What do we do in that? I'm a professional fighter. I make my money through this. Every month if I fight, I make about a lakh and a half, 2 lakhs, whatever. If you can make that much, we weren't giving that much money, but that was the goal. And one day we want to be able to give that much per fight partner. If we can get there one day, then we can actually have a culture where fighters can say, in Nepal can say, this is my job, this is my profession. Was my dream, but I don't know, man. So initially, financial loss was very difficult. And then COVID happened like 1 week after the last event. COVID ko lockdown. Last GFN 3 गरे त्यसको within 5 days lockdown गरिदियो
है ओके म त त्यो बेला सुट गर्ने हेर्न मात्र आएको थिएँ
आई
थिङ्क करण र थाइल्यान्डको फाइटर
करण थापा yeah that was a great fight man
like he held on for such a long time man
that was a great fight त्यसमा चाहिँ नेपाली हार्ट देख्छ क्या है गोर्खाली हार्ट चाहिँ यो भनेर क्या he is not going down
he's not going to give up man कति सर्ट भेटाएको थियो
मैले टावल फाल्दै नि पछि नि लाइक कोच नफाल्नु पर्ने
युज लाइक उसलाई चाहिँ फाइट रोकेको भयो अरे वाज ब्रोकन के तर द्याट म्यान
द्याट्स एज अ कोच द्याट्स वान अफ द हार्डेस्ट डिसिजन्स यु हेभ टु मेक क्या वेन टु थ्रो इन द टावल
डिड एनिथिङ ह्यापन उसको त रिबै रातो थियो
रिब वाज फाइन उसको हातमा अलिकति ड्यामेज थियो वी हेड टु किपिङ अन स्लिङ फर वाइल एन्ड within कति weeks नै was back in the gym man and now the अस्ति भर्खर he had a fight like कति month ago he's just a different level त्यो fight पछि क्या when you get into a fight like that in the fight world they call it the rub भन्छ क्या so when you fight someone who's on a much higher level than you then that greatness rubs off on you क्या so उसकोमा चाहिँ त्यो भएको छ and you can see like that kid has like that killer eyes right now क्या I'm so excited for what he's going to do next यस्तो राम्रो भएको छ
फेरि म इन्टरभ्युज लिन आएको थिएँ लाइक there's a good fighter करण भने लाइक with the glasses on and everything सुपरम्यान भाइब छ नि उसको इट्स लाइक अ गीक जसले चस्मा लाउँछ यत्रो अनि रिङमा गइसकेपछि द्याट स्विट पर्सन टर्न्स इन्टु अ मोन्स्टर
फुल अन उयो एनिमे फ्यान हो फेरि उसलाई चाहिँ एनिमे क्यारेक्टर्सहरू जति पनि मनपर्छ क्या हिज वान अफ द स्विटेस्ट किड्स म्यान एन्ड उसको पनि कस्तो ब्युटिफुल छ क्या जर्नी लाइक हि स्टार्टेड जस्ट सम पिपल वेन दे born दे लभ मार्सल आर्ट्स नि यु नो टङ सम गाइज सानैदेखि कुम्फु मुभिज मात्रै हेर्ने फाइट मुभी मात्रै हिज वान अफ दोज क्या कम्प्लिट मार्सल आर्ट्स लभर सो उल चाहिँ बिफोर आई फाउन्ड हिम हि वाज जस्ट गोइङ एन्ड फाइटिङ एभ्रिवेयर कराटे किक बक्सिङ वुसु जे पाए त्यसमा गएर खेलिदिने एन्ड हि वाज डुइङ ओके he wasn't getting his ass kicked. When he came to me, I saw him and I was like, this kid has talent, man. तर talent only gets you so far, ni. But over the past 4 years, he's proved that he has more than just talent. Okay? And Nepal, if you ask me, I might be a little biased, who knows. But if you ask me, pound for pound, Nepal's best fighter is Karan.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah, if you ask me, pound for pound.
Because, okay, it makes sense because you believe that you can fight.
A Thai, yeah.
Yeah.
And that Thai had like, what, 50-something fights, man.
But he actually said
he had 15 भनेको थियो होइन
15 भनेको थियो
15 है लस्ट इन ट्रान्सलेसन yeah 50 something
कि त्यो he was trying to deceive कि मेरो कम फाइटर छ किनकि धेरै फाइट भन्नु नबोलाउन सक्छ नि त
could be because at said हाम्रो फाइटरको त कति we only got 5-6 fights धेरै भएको छैन send like we want similar level को भनेको थिएँ but it was a learning lesson man to be honest when we look back now as coach and as fighter I don't think either of us would change it okay? Because of what it did to him as a fighter, how it made him grow, I don't think we would change it, man. It's something that we're proud of. That performance, sometimes, it's not always about getting the win. It's about what you show out there.
You got something bigger.
Yeah, true.
Also, what makes these Thai fighters so damn strong, bro? He was like, jeans में भएर आइसक्यो कि
त्यो
बच्चा बेलादेखि भएर हो कि
You watched Batman, no? त्यो ब्याटम्यानमा बेनले भन्छ नि यु सिम्पली अडप्टेड द डार्कनेस आई वाज बोर्न इन इट भन्छ नि त्यस्तै हो क्या ब्रो लाइक विभ अडप्टेड द्याट स्पोर्ट क्या यिनीहरू त जन्मेकै त्यसमै हो स्कुलमा म्यान्डेटरी हुन्छ कति इयर्स होइन सो इफ यु डोन्ट गो टु स्कुल त झन् द्याट्स अल यु डु सो त्यो गरेर अब एन्ड सेन्चुरिज अफ टेक्निक म्यान सेन्चुरिज अफ एक्सपर्टिज
हाउ ओल्ड इज दिस थिङ
मस्ट बी भेरी ओल्ड म्यान दे हेभ बिन युजिङ मुई थाई सिन्स द बर्मिज वार सो इट्स भेरी यिनीहरूको त अब नेसनल स्पोर्टै हो and they're just like naturally it comes to them.
National sport,
yeah.
Sorry for sounding dumb. Man.
No, man, it's not something everybody knows. It's only after I started fighting that I realized this. But yeah, and to experience dinai garo cha kya aba maile I teach with 13 years of experience and that's the most in the country. I say that with confidence because mal tha cha ni ta but imagine they've got gyms that have 300 years of experience teaching them people with एउटा थाइको 300-400 fights हुन्छ by the time they retire with like 300 fights at the age of 25.
What's the ideal age to start?
In Thailand, the first fight अब Yotsinklai, Bokao, Inarko, if you look at the legends, they have their first fight when they're 8 years old, 7 years old, man. Oh, 7 years old, man. हामीले अब क्लास 5 मा आरजे गरे भन्दा त केही न केही हो नि
सो यहाँ पनि आई थिङ्क एउटा इभेन्टमा अस्ति मैले आई स किड्स कसको राजु इभेन्ट चाहिँ ट्राई टु गेट मी इन द इभेन्ट आउनु दाइ हुन्छ भनेर किनकि लभ्स द्याट हि नोज द्याट आई लभ फाइट्स के होइन अनि इज गट अ स्मल किड जसलाई चाहिँ उसले ट्रेन गरिरहेको छ कि अल द टाइम आई थिङ्क उसलाई चाहिँ काहीँ न काहीँ पुऱ्याउँछु भनेर सोचेको छ राजु पनि यस्तो एन्टरटेनिङ फाइटर छ नि
डान्स एन्ड एभ्रिथिङ उसलाई चाहिँ त्यो कल्चर चाहिँ हि इज भेरी फन्ड अफ द कल्चर क्या मुई थाई कल्चर एन्ड इट्स नाइस टु सी द्याट इन फाइटर्स
एन्ड हि इज इन इट एभ्री डे ब्रो उसको त जहिले पनि एभ्री डेको स्टोरी बिहान 5-6 बजीतिर नै आइसकेको हुन्छ अनि हिज देयर काहीँ न काहीँ केही ढालिरहेछ कि केही पोज हालिरहेछ
तर अब्सेस चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ क्या ब्रो इफ यु रियली वान्ट टु बी ग्रेट एट दिस स्पोर्ट लाइक what people don't understand is मान्छेले धेरै युएफसीहरू फाइटर बन्छु भन्छ क्या एन्ड द्याट्स अल्सो ओके हुन्छ देयर इज नथिङ रङ विथ वाचिङ द युएफसी एन्ड बिङ इन्सपायर्ड एन्ड स्टफलाई मलाई खुसी लाग्छ होइन बट people don't understand how difficult it is to be a fighter. Okay, it's probably the hardest thing anyone can do. The window of opportunity for anybody to be like a professional sportsman or an athlete and life त्यसमा बिताउँछु भने world globally, not just Nepal, कत्रो छ the window is that small नि. अब त्यो window of opportunity is even smaller if you're born in Nepal, होइन. And it's the smallest if you're born in Nepal and you want to be a professional fighter. अति नै गाह्रो छ क्या. And we have years of catching up to do, years and years. अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो level of obsession and dedication भएन भने चाहिँ you can't make it in this sport. सक्दै सक्दैन. That's why I don't know if you've seen मैले दुईजना केटीहरू ट्रेन गरिरहेको छु नि, my two students. That's my favorite part about the two of them.
They won something, recently.
Yeah. They're monsters, man. They're complete monsters. Unar चाहिँ, in my opinion, again, I might be biased, is Nepal's biggest hope for a real world title someday. Nepal's best chance at a real world title someday, according to me. I could be wrong.
And what about, I think, जिमखानाबाट नै हो मुay thai नेपालमा राम्ररी सुरु भएको कि was there already?
I can't take credit. So Muay Thai थियो नेपालमा. We've always had the association, and association has been putting in some good work also. यहाँ जहिले भन्छ नि एसोसिएसनले यो गरेन त्यो गरेन, हाम्रो त गरिरहेछ तर गाह्रो छ क्या ब्रो. Muay Thai भनेर मान्छेले खासै थाहा चाहिँ, like maybe yes we help bring it up a little bit because जिमको नामै जिमखाना Muay Thai भनेर राख्दियो, and at that point the biggest gym in the country, so and with it got a little bit of hype as well. So त्यसले गर्दा Muay Thai did come up. अहिले हेऱ्यो भने there are more fighters, there are more fights and all happening. तर काम त गरिरहेको छ यार, पहिल्यैदेखि न Muay Thai association has been around for a while.
अनि हुन त अब हाम्रो कन्ट्रीले गोल्ड ल्याउने कुनै इभेन्टमा भनेकै टेक्वान्डो कराटे हो, हामीले त्यो नै हेर्दैन. सो वेयर्स द लुप होल? यो किन चाहिँ लाइक इट डजन्ट गेट टु द क्राउड? व्हाट डु यु थिङ्क?
अल्छी लाग्दैछ नि टेक्वान्डो कराटे त वाइल्ड गाली खाने भयो र कमेन्ट्समा. आई डोन्ट मिन इट द्याट वे के, बट आम ह्युज फ्यान अफ जुजित्सु अल्सो नि त. तर जुजित्सु पनि हेर्नु त अल्छी लाग्दैछ नि त. बट Muay Thai and MMA किन माथि आयो त? Why is the UFC and why is MMA the fastest? Because it's fucking entertaining to watch, man. It's fun to watch के. Why MMA ले भन्ने नै हो भने बक्सिङलाई त खाइदिनु लाइसक्यो नि त. If you compare the two combat sports, boxing is, no one can deny, like I love boxing, man. I'm an old school boxing fan, you know, from Pernell Whitaker's देखि लिएर the Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm a huge boxing fan, but no one can deny that boxing is going past its glory days.
Only the biggest of the fights get the big hype, you know. Money is there.
Money is there.
It's not going to go away pretty soon. I think fight ma the highest paid the boxing the kahan aउँछ नि.
The top few percentage. अब जस्तो कन्यालोले कमाउँछ हैन, the top guys make, but the bottom guys they don't really make that much नि. उनीहरुको पनि त्यही नै हो struggle. So त्यसले गर्दा I think it's more fun के. When you watch MMA, माथि पनि हान्छ भुइँमा लडेर नि खेलिरहेछ, they're choking out, you know, it's a real fight.
And the fight is so well built with the hype.
Oh, exactly.
That itself sells like crazy ni.
A taekwondo competition कसरी build गर्ने? I'm going to kill this guy, I'm going to fuck him up, but I'll only kick him. भनेको छु हैन त. अनि गाह्रो छ नि त्यो बेच्न. Same with boxing, man. Like I'm going like
also these sports जुन चाहिँ छ martial arts यो जुन हाम्रो taekwondo karate छ, it's all about discipline नि त. So त्यहाँ त हामीले के भन्न पनि मिलेन, के गर्न पनि मिलेन. अनि MMA is all about like, oh, I'm going all in भने जस्तो छ नि त.
Plus real fight man relate गर्न सक्छ नि. Like you can see like यो मान्छेले चाहिँ like if Khabib fights somebody on the street, you know he's going to fuck him up नि. But at the same time if you watch only like a boxer and then there's a guy who's a really strong wrestler, बाटोमा झगडा पर्यो भने कसले जित्ला भने you don't really know नि. भन्नै सक्दैन नि. If there's a really good boxer but somebody who does Muay Thai and throws heavy kicks हैन, then के हुन्छ? But त्यही Muay Thai fighterलाई ग्राउन्डमा लग्दैन के हुन्छ त? You don't know ni. All those questions are answered in MMA. Okay? I think that's sorry.
Ultimate fighting indeed, man.
True.
So, do you see any scope to cage or layer fight गराउनु मिल्दैन पो नेपालमा?
मलाई चाहिँ
isn't that a dream of yours?
It is.
Someday.
It is 100% dream of mine. But
कहिले भएको छ नि?
छैन. And the reason, like, I could have done it, but I believe in like legitimacy. के कुरा गर्ने भने you got to do it the right way. अहिले ल्याएर मैले यहाँ केज हाल्दिनु, it's not a big deal, man. I can bring the cage and get guys to fight in their underwear and take off their shirt, हैन? But what will the fight be like? यहाँ जब MMA सिकाउने मान्छे नै छैन नेपालमा, MMA सिकाउने जुजित्सु सिकाउने कोचै छैन नेपालमा, हाउ क्यान यु पुट अप MMA or जुजित्सु फाइट? You're lying to people नि त. अनि मान्छेले ढाट्नु त भएन नि. You gotta be honest, man. हामीले जिमखाना फाइट नाइट पनि we didn't do it the first year of जिमखाना नि. We waited until I knew at least my fighters were on a level where we would display real Muay Thai and real boxing skills भनेर नि त. So त्यो legitimacy ल्याउनु, I will do it, but I'm looking for an MMA coach, to be very honest. So I know that thousands of people will watch this. If there's anybody, then let me know. So त्यो चाहिँ गर्छु, but maybe a few years मा. It takes time.
मैले त अलिबाबामा केजको कति पर्दो रहेछ सबै एउटा पोइन्टमा त हाम्रो बजारमा नि रहेछ, तर त्यो फेक हो कि के थाहा छैन. इट सेड द्याट इट कुड ब्रिङ द केज भनेर क्या. जस्ट क्युरियस क्या. आई हेभ एब्सोल्युटली नो आइडिया फाइट्सको बारेमा. मलाई ज्याब पनि हान्न आउँदैन ब्रो, तर त्यो लभ चाहिँ बढिरहेछ क्या. सो मेरो अफिसमा आई थिङ्क 50% जनाले चाहिँ सन्डेज फाइट नाइट मजाले कि एभ्री वान इज इदर टुगेदर, न त ब्रेकफास्ट खाँदै हेर्छ अरू आफ्नो घरमा हेर्छ. अनि त्यो कल्चर चाहिँ राम्ररी आइरहेको छ कि. दो आई डोन्ट नो एनिथिङ, दिस समथिङ स्पेसल के. अनि वेन आफ्नो फेभरेट फाइटर फाइट गर्दाखेरि यस्तो नर्भस भएर आफ्नै त्यहाँ हुन्छ नि, यु फिल नर्भस फर देम कि नहारोस् जस्तो हुन्छ नि त, किनकि एभ्री वान्स गर्न लुज एट सम डे सम पोइन्ट सम डे. सो त्यो थ्रिल चाहिँ अति नै एक्साइटिङ छ कि.
इट्स अति रियल हो नि. मैले जहिले पनि भन्छु नि, लाइक मान्छेले अब बाटोमा दुईजनाले, इफ यु एन्ड मी हामी बाटोमा गएर दुईजनाले बललाई लात हान्नु उसमा मतलबै हुँदैन नि. हामी दुईजना बाटोमा गएर झगडा गरेर कत्रो हुल हुन्छ नि. एभ्री विल कम टु वाच नि त. सो द्याट्स द्याट थिङ कि अब त्यो हाम्रो एनिमल इन्स्टिङ हो कि के हो.
Though I'd never wanted to do that, no,
me neither. But I think that's just हाम्रो त्यो it's built in us. Okay? It's just Dana Whiteley भन्छ नि, fighting is in our DNA भन्छ नि. I think it's really true, man.
तिमीलाई त डेना ब्राउन भन्छ नि त.
त्यही भने not anymore though, no more.
So what's it like? You said I understand कि मलाई पनि यहाँ we do the shows with calling people and everything त. अनि एउटा सोमा 5-6 जनाको जो ल्याउन खोज्दाखेरि सबैजनाको टाइम मिल्न पर्यो. सबैजनालाई हुन्छ नि, they have to agree on this. They have to be convinced with the idea of doing it. So many layers छ नि त. It's like यो मान्छेलाई बोलाऊ भने यस्तो गरौँ न भनेर भन्न सजिलो छ, तर गर्न गाह्रो छ. I'm pretty sure that's what drains your energy, or is it something else? किनकि you have to do the matchmaking. I assume that you have to have this fighter will go along with this. उसको स्टडी पनि हुनु पऱ्यो नि त. लट अफ नलेज इन्भल्भ नि त. यत्तिकै फाइटर त जुदाउन मिलेन. प्लस द डिसिप्लिन, प्लस उनीहरू कन्भिन्स्ड पनि हुनु पऱ्यो. अनि वाइ डु इट फर जिम खाना, तपाईँको लागि किन गर्ने भन्ने क्वेसन पनि आउँछ होला.
So the thing is, we have all these questions, होइन. Our number one is, I don't think they do it for me. I mean, there's the money factor also, which we were paying good amount of money. Good त होइन, तर नेपालको स्ट्यान्डर्डमा केही पनि नपाइरहेको, or you know, हाम्रो फाइटरहरूले ब्रो, you won't believe, सत्तु चिउरा र अचारको लागि फाइट खेलेछ है. फाइट खेलेर when they win, the prize is सत्तु चिउरा and अचार के. So त्यहाँसम्म छ क्या. And then now suddenly getting 25,000 to show, 50,000 to win, which went up. The last fight मा त we went up to 75 and 1 even with the main and co-main event. So price पर्दै गयो त्यो. But the main thing was like, look man, I don't have a problem with working. I don't have a problem with doing any of this. Okay? I embrace the grind. But I have a problem when I feel resistance from people I consider my family. Okay? त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I'm just like, you know, fuck this, म गर्दिनँ भन्ने जस्तो लाग्छ. So the main thing was, to be honest, maybe I'm being a little bitch about it, but I didn't like some of the things that were said by some people that I considered family and looked at as my team, and guys that I've been there for. Okay? They know I've been there for them, man.
Is it यसले पैसा कमाइरहेछ हामीलाई यसो गराएर हुने कुरा हो कि there's some
त्यो भन्दा पनि लाइक तैँले गरेको तरिका मिलेन, हाम्रो पैसा खै टाइपको क्या. First thing was हाम्रो पैसा खै, which was like के भनिरहेको, everything's locked down, man. Yes, I know it's been 4 months, but 4 months to lockdown थियो नि त. Remember, right? The first lockdown?
Yeah.
And first lockdown खुलेको, within 2 weeks we paid everybody, all the fighters. They'll testify to this. Okay? But my thing is like, त्यही भन्नु भने there's a better way of doing it. होइन म जे भए पनि दाई भन्छ भने त किन भने त दाई लाइक फक म्यान म त गएर मलाई दाई भन्नुपर्छ भन्ने खालको मान्छे नै होइन क्या ब्रो मलाई त्यो मभन्दा लाइक पिपल 10 years younger than me भाइ भन्दा आइएम फकिङ ह्याप्पी आई डोन्ट केयर क्या बट भन्ने हो भने त गएर मिनेट नि त होइन दाई भन्ने चाहिने बेलामा चाहिँ रिस्पेक्ट दिने एन्ड देन लाइक वेन इट सुट्स यर कन्भिनियन्स देन युर देयर बट वेन इट्स नट देन त्यस्तो गर्ने हुन्छ नि आई लिभ बाई कोड म्यान एन्ड इन द्याट कोड लाइक रिस्पेक्ट लोयल्टी इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुन्छ नि एन्ड
मेबी त्यो टाइममा नेगेटिभिटी अलिक बढी थियो नि त मेबी इट केम आउट
एक्ज्याक्टली आई अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द्याट म्यान बट सो मच टाइम हेज पास नि होइन सो मच टाइम हेज पास म्यान मैले त सञ्जयको पडकास्टमा पो अस्ति गएर आई सेड ओके आइम नट डुइङ दिस एनी मोर माई टिम एन्ड दिस गाइज दे न्यू अबाउट इट मन्थ्स अगो म्यान मन्थ्स अगो मैले म गर्दिनँ यो अब भनेर भने सो देयर वाज अल दिस टाइम म्यान दे कुड कम एन्ड सेड आई डोन्ट निड एन अपोलोजी के आई एम नट द काइन्ड अफ पर्सन विल बी हियर लाइक ए मलाई सरी भन्ने टाइपको होइन कि तर rather let's just move forward man भन्दा भने म I'll be like whatever हुन्छ नि केटाहरू brothers right you don't need an apology from your brother you just need them to be like fuck let's just move forward तर acknowledge नगरिदिने अब त्यो हुन्छ नि if you're going to avoid me like the plague when I've done nothing but try to help you then what am I doing this for man so I've got my 2 girls that I'm more than happy training I know where they'll go and I know where their loyalty lies as well they're really young सानै छ बच्चा रहेछ but I know where they can go.
That's sad for me, bro. मलाई त हेर्न मन छ यार अब फोर्थ हुनुपर्ने
हो हामीले टु बी अनेस्ट ब्रो 8th सम्म त प्लान गरिसकेको थियो वी ह्याड एभ्रिथिङ
आई वुड म त एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट कामहरू छाडेर चाहिँ आउँछु ब्रो आई थिङ्क म फर्स्टमा आउनु मलाई थाहा थिएन फर्स्ट आई स इट अन युट्युब लाइक आई थिङ्क मनिष डाकु फाइटिङ दिस के थियो अनि ल यस्तो कुरा भइरहेछ नेपालमा अब सो चार्ज अनि सेकेन्ड हुन लागेको थाहा पाएपछि आई टेक्स्टेड समवन के भयो त्यसमा चाहिँ हामीले भिडियोहरू बनाएर राखेको थियो अब त म लाइफ लङ जति हुन्छ आइम गोन सपोर्ट दिस एज मच एज आई क्यान भनेर किनकि आई नो नि त किनकि मैले पनि वेन वी स्टार्टेड यो हाम्रो टिमले नै वेन वी स्टार्टेड डुइङ आवर युट्युब थिङ एन्ड दिस एन्ड द्याट त्यहाँ पनि पैसा थिएन क्या त्यहाँ पनि लाइक क्रिटिसाइज गर्ने मान्छे थियो तर त्यहाँ त हामीले मात्रै काम गरेर हुन्थ्यो नि त But for you, you have to get like what hundreds of people aboard for this idea, and I can't even imagine कतिको छ. Plus it's fighting वाला thing के. कस्तो हुन्छ यो फाइटर्सहरूको बिचमा पनि लाइक पर्न त उनीहरूको ब्लडमै हुन्छ होला तर लाइक डु दे फिजिकली
हाम्रो नेपाली डिसिप्लिन छ द्याट वे लाइक आई एम भेरी प्राउड अफ आवर स्पोर्ट्समेन एथलिट्स इन द्याट वे बिकज we're very disciplined के and inherently we're humble also as a nation
maybe too humble किनकि मैले इन्टरभ्यू चाहिँ एकदम बोरिङ भएको थियो कि इन्टरभ्युजहरू के उहाँलाई म फाइट गर्न जान लागिरहेको छु नि त
there's more like all the best to him
रिस्पेक्ट हुने छ होइन मेबी त्यसले फाइटलाई हाइप गर्नलाई क्रिएट गर्नलाई अलिकति च्यालेन्ज हुन्छ होला
आई मिन
बट वी कान्ट जस्ट फलो विदेशी ट्रेन्ड
त्यो हुँदैन क्या अहिले किनभने त्यो फाइटलाई हाइप गर्नलाई ग्रज चाहिने अनि त्यो एकअर्कालाई हुन्छ नि गेटिङ इन इच अदर्स फेसेस द्याट्स लाइक when they already know who the people are नि त अहिले त यहाँ को र को फाइट गरेर थाहै छैन दुईजना वाइ दि गेटिङ लाइक के भयो कि भन्यो कि यसलाई चित्त दुख्यो कि भन्ने हुन्छ नि त सो त्यो आई डोन्ट थिङ्क द्याट्स नेसेसरी कि आई थिङ्क राइट नाउ वाट्स इम्पोर्टेन्ट इज फर अस टु सो आवर लेभल अफ स्किल के हाउ गुड वी आर भनेर एन्ड टु बी अनेस्ट वेयर नट गुड इनफ लाइक honest you have to be honest with yourself we're not good enough to be competing on a world stage we are not good enough as a nation yet but the work is being put in okay? The boys coming up and the girls coming up now they're actually putting in the work saying 5 years 10 years from now I'm a world champion so just like someone say I'll be a doctor in 5 years or 7 years we actually have kids saying I'm going to be a world champion or a fighter so that is coming up okay? So it's there but right now we're not ready we're not even close to being ready.
Does it take convincing their parents also from your side?
Yes.
So yes. That is also there.
Oh, yeah. It's very tiring, man. It's very tiring. That's kind of why I trained my 2 students. And I've been doing this for 13 years. I've had hundreds of students, thousands of Indians in my career. But the only 2 that I've actually looked after from the ground level, where I know exactly when they wake up, go to school, what they eat, when they come back. Everything is them because with them, everything fits in. I don't have to convince their parents. I know they're very supportive, very understanding. That's refreshing to see in Nepal. Mero chhoriharulai fighter banaउँछ. It's very refreshing to see that. So त्यो छ. I don't have to worry about them having responsibilities. And I sound like a dick when I say this, but well, त्यस्तो भन्नु खोजेन के responsibilities हुन्छ and it's difficult and I understand that. But at the same time, fighter बनाउनलाई त अब के गर्ने त? त्यो responsibilities हेर्ने कि दिनको 8 hours train गर्ने, right? It's not an easy sport, man. You could get hurt, you could die, and that's also my responsibility.
Has there been any kind of भन्न मिल्छ भने any kind of incident fights-मा in Nepal that you have been a part of or organized or कुनै ठाउँमा चाहिँ severely केही भएको छ कसैलाई?
No,
Thank God.
Thank God, man. The worst that happened was a couple of knockouts. So knockout basically concussion huncha. That's normal. Concussion bhayeपछि I just hope like they don't go and just get right back into sparring and stuff. But I kind of take it, I take my safety precautions. The thing is, I've been in this for so long. I've fought at a high level. My fight गरेछ मैले नि. So त्यसले गर्दाखेरि म सिकेको छ नि त, जे जे देख्यो त्यही सिकेर आउनु त नि. So सिकेर आएर मलाई चाहिँ थाहा छ अब सेफ्टी मेजर्स यो हो, हेल्थ एन्ड सेफ्टीको लागि यो गर्नुपर्छ. सो अहिले पनि जुन फाइटर्सहरूले अहिले जुन फाइट्सहरू भइरहेछ, आई जस्ट होप द्याट दे आर फलोइङ द्याट टु, बिकज एज एन्टरटेनिङ एज दिस स्पोर्ट इज, इट्स एन्टरटेनिङ इज बिकज इट्स डेन्जरस के, इट्स भेरी डेन्जरस. एन्ड मान्छेले त्यो एस्पेक्ट चाहिँ कन्सिडर गर्दैन क्या. आई टेल माई स्टुडेन्ट्स अल्सो लाइक एनी फाइट कुड बी यर लास्ट फाइट, एनी स्पारिङ सेसन कुड बी यर लास्ट स्पारिङ सेसन एभर, एन्ड द्याट्स you getting away luckily also हुन्छ के. It could be worse, होइन. So it's a big risk के. त्यही भएर चाहिँ it's very important to, for anybody who wants to put on fight shows and promotions out there, especially in Nepal, होइन, बाहिर त we don't care, but in Nepal, please I request everybody like the health and safety precautions चाहिँ अति नै गाह्रो, अति नै इम्पोर्टेन्ट हो क्या ब्रो, अति नै.
I actually had a friend के स्कुलमादेखि नै एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टेड थियो यस्तोमा, अनि ऊ त्यो हुन्छ नि +2 पढ्छ नि 17-18 हुँदाखेरि त्यतिखेर बक्सिङमा छिर्यो, राम्रो गर्थ्यो क्या. मेबी हिज अट्याक्स वाज, ऊ एकदम सानो थियो अनि त्यो एकदम फास्ट हुन्छ नि, त्यो लाइट वेट भएको मान्छेहरूको स्पिड एकदम फास्ट हुन्छ. अनि देन ग्लोभ्स लगाएर नि सम हि गट हेड, अनि त्यसपछि त हि वाज नेभर द सेम. समथिङ यस्तो हावा कुरा भइरहेछ, के गरिरहेछ, अनि मलाई को भन्ठानिरहेछ त्यस्तो. आई मेड हिम कपल अफ टाइम्स, अनि हि वाज नेभर द सेम. आई डोन्ट नो हाउ इज डुइङ अहिले, होइन, धेरै पुरानो साथी हो, तर ग्लोभ्स लगाएर पनि त हेड इन्जरी इज
एक्ज्याक्टली ब्रेन ट्रमा इज ब्रेन ट्रमा नि. एट द एन्ड अफ द डे योर बडी इज नट मेन्ट टु टेक हिट्स लाइक द्याट नि. त्यसरी त्यसको लागि बनेकै होइन नि हाम्रो बडी.
सो हाउ डु यु ट्रेन योर एथलिट्स टु गेट इट?
सो माई एथलिट्सलाई चाहिँ मैले माई सिस्टम अफ ट्रेनिङमा चाहिँ आई डोन्ट डु हार्ड स्पारिङ, आई डोन्ट अलाउ हार्ड स्पारिङ, होइन. सो जिममा why throw a punch if you're not going to get paid for it or get a point for it? It does make sense. So sparring garcha hamle, but we do it. I like to keep my fighters go sparring to a very technical level where they learn the technique, get used to the flow and everything. But the hard sparring thing, sakesama garnu khojदैन के.
अनि doesn't it make them nervous when they're actually going to a fight? Or
so I explain it to them like this. You know who Chael Sonnen is? Chael Sonnen भन्ने पहिला एउटा फाइटर थियो क्या. एन्डरसन सिल्भाको टफेस्ट फाइट अन्टिल ही लस्ट वाज Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen is the king of trash talk. अनि उसले he said one thing that was beautiful के. So there was this team that was football team, I think, that was doing very well in training, but on game day they couldn't perform के. जे भए पनि गेम डेमा जहिले चोक गर्ने के. अनि उसले के गरेछ भने त्यो यत्रै लामो 6 foot long plank 6 inches wide लिएर आयो होइन, अनि भुइँमा राख्यो के. And then he got his whole team and he said, everybody walk on the plank once. Until त्यसपछि के गर्यो भने 2 6 foot ladder ल्यायो क्या. अनि ladder यसरी राख्यो, एउटा है एउटा है. Now he put the plank on top क्या. And he said, now walk. The same plank गरिरहेछ, कति लडिरहेछ. The lesson from that is the task is the same. What changed is the environment changed. You're still walking on those 6 inches. You're not walking on the ground. You're walking on 6 inches. Even on the ladder, you're walking on 6 inches. But the environment changed. But we can't let the environment change us. Because हाम्रो task त्यही हुन्छ. The only thing that changes is there's a dorky looking guy with a tie who's the referee, and there's 3 people with the judge, and there's people screaming and shouting. तर भित्र गएर गर्ने के हो त? त्यही jab, त्यही cross, त्यही low kick, होइन? Same defense, everything. So I try and train them mentally, like at least prepare them mentally so that they understand that the task is the same. Okay? Don't let the environment bother you. And it might be a slightly longer way, but it's definitely a safer way, man. I know many guys who have retired from the gym, okay? From sparring. And गाह्रो छ नि fighter. You're not sleeping in silk underwear if you're a fighter. I know you're obviously fighting to fight for better life. And that's द्याट आई थिङ्क त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै कन्सिडरेसनमा लिनुपर्छ क्या.
Did you go through that same precautionary thing, or you went through hard sparring?
That's how I learned. So over the course of my years, in the beginning, yes. Beginningमा त मार्ला जस्तो खेल्थेँ कि त्यो फाइटको त डरै लाग्दैन थियो क्या. इट वाज अ गुड थिङ अल्सो बिकज आई न्यू जे भए पनि स्पारिङमा जस्तो त हुँदैन भन्ने थाहा थियो. बिकज माई कोच वाज fucking 100 kilos and 6'3" हुन्छ नि. इज बिग गाई एन्ड उसले नि त्यसरी सिकाउँथ्यो अब फाइट हुने भने. But over the course of time, I trained with different coaches. I trained with different gyms. Spent a lot of time in Thailand. And त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I have to come to my own assessment also. And my assessment was hard sparring is not good because the wear and tear on your body is not good, man. Max Holloway, Max Holloway.
Oh, yeah.
So his recent fight against Calvin Kattar, he did no sparring, man. Zero sparring. His whole training camp, 9-week camp, he did on Zoom. So त्यो चाहिन्छै भन्ने छैन क्या. मेन्टली प्रिपेयर हुनुपर्छ अब. बट अगेन डिफ्रेन्ट कोचेस डिफ्रेन्ट टेक्निक्स होइन. द्याट्स हाउ आई डु इट. आई डोन्ट लाइक ड्यामेजिङ माई स्टुडेन्ट्स.
अनि डु यु फिल द्याट नेपाली के भन्छ विक ज भनेर भन्छ नि बाहिर, अर लाइक धेरै पिटाइ खान सक्छ. वेयर डु वी स्ट्यान्ड? डु यु हेभ एनी के भन्छ क्यालकुलेसन अफ वेयर लाई इन द लिस्ट अफ कति पिटा खान सक्छ अर कति बलियो छ? किनकि वान थिङ आई वान टक टु यु अबाउट अल्सो इज वी वर मेन्ट फर थाउजन्ड्स एन्ड थाउजन्ड्स अफ इयर्स. नेपालीको जात भन्ने बित्तिकै इट्स लाइक डाँडा तलमाथि गएर हामी त सुपर न्युट्रिसन नपाएको, स्किनी, एकदमै लिमिटेड न्युट्रियन्ट्स खाएर, मासु प्रोटिनहरू भनेको त एकदम कम भएको, लिन एन्ड भेरी एजाइल सानो मान्छे हो नि त नेपाली भनेको. अहिले म 5'9", 5'10" हो नि भनेको मान्छे त्यतिखेर त जायन्ट हो होइन. त्यो त वर्ल्ड वाइड हो. तर नेपालीमा अझै मेबी सानो त्यस्तो मान्छे त. तर दे वाज लाइक आइएम प्रिटी स्योर दे वाज एज स्ट्रङ एज इट क्यान. लाइक उनीहरूको वेट अनुसार त यति स्ट्रङ थियो. अहिले पनि हामी कुनै पाहाडतिर ट्रेक गयो भने यत्रो मभन्दा हाफ साइजको मान्छे चाहिँ यत्रो ठुलो लगै लिएर गइरहेछ क्या. सो त्यो मान्छेले त अहिलेको मान्छेलाई त मजाले स्ट्यामिना वाइज अन एभ्रिथिङ वाइज भ्याइदिन्थ्यो होला नि. अहिले त डाँडामा स्मोक गर्दै दौडिएर हिमालसम्म चढ्दैन सक्छ उनीहरू होइन. सो त्यो वाइज के लाइक वेयर डु वी स्ट्यान्ड अहिले हेल्थ वाइज नै के?
So in terms of like having a strong jaw, त्यसको लागि चाहिँ it depends on how good your cardio is. Okay? If you've got a lot of endurance, a lot of cardio, then you can recover from hits faster.
Okay.
So त्यस्तो त्यो एउटा भयो. अर्को of course is the mindset and it's the heart. You can't teach heart. Heart चाहिँ you're either born with it or not. Some guys will just not give up. त्यो गर्दाखेरि अब if you really look at boxing मा हेऱ्यो भने the guys with the toughest heart is the Mexicans. Mexican heart and Mexican style is always move forward and go through everything. Muay Thai मा हेऱ्यो भने most hard of course the Thais, man. They refuse to. उनीहरूको लागि चाहिँ हार्नु भनेको एउटा ठुलो उयो हो क्या. ego hit भन्दा पनि
आफ्नो रेपुटेसन, आफ्नो कन्ट्रीको रेपुटेसन,
एक्ज्याक्टली
नेसनल स्पोर्ट म्यान.
ट्रु हो. सो फर देम फर थाईलाई गएर एउटा फरेनरसँग हार्यो भने चाहिँ इट्स लाइक अ बिग, उनीहरूले दे टेक इट एज अ डिसग्रेस क्या अलमोस्ट. यो हार्नु न मेरो स्पोर्टमा म हारेँ भनेको जस्तो हेर्छ क्या. सो देव गट म्यासिभ हार्ट. हाम्रो पनि हार्ट नभएको त होइन बिकज लाइक यु सिन इन आवर फाइट्स म्यान, गाइज गेट रक्ड होइन, दे गेट रियली दे स्टिल मुभ फरवर्ड म्यान.
है सिङ द्याट फ्रम अ डिस्टेन्स. ओ म देखाएको छैन नि त कहिले नि. लाइक अब जिस्केर कहिले काहीँ हातले पर्दाखेरि त दुख्छ भने त्यो जोनमा पुग्दाखेरि त दे आर इन्टेन्स है.
Oh yeah, we like in terms of heart, I don't think anyone will ever question Nepali fighters in general. Of course, there might be out of 10, 1 or 2 that might not have that same heart, but majority ma ta हामी त we're the Bir Gorkhali nation, man. त्यो डर भन्ने चाहिँ हुँदैन. अब recovery कतिको छिटो हुन्छ that all depends on your training and stuff like that. So when you get hit, you get rocked. If you some people get up easier, some people don't. Tyson Fury, he almost died, man, when he fought Wilder, the first time, and then he just got up like he came back from the dead, man. So endurance, this one, but in terms of heart, nobody will ever doubt in Nepali for his heart.
What about the physique, the health? किनकि त्यो त डिटोरेट भइरहेछ नि त with the air pollution, with the diet, because we've never had यस्तो मिठो मिठो खाना एकचोटि त पाएको छैन नि त. फास्ट फुड नेपालमा त कन्सिडरिङ वाट वी वर लाइक सबैको आमा बाउ have struggled के हाम्रो एजको स्पेसली
True.
इफ युर 30 40
Yeah.
25 आई डोन्ट नो जुन एज भयो भने हाम्रो अहिलेको जेनेरेसनको आमा बुवा भनेको दे स्ट्रगल के उनीहरूको स्टोरी सुन्यो भने त हामी त डिफ्रेन्ट संसारमा छौँ सबैको त्यही स्टोरी छ कि अनि त्यतिखेर त्यति धेरै फेसिलिटी नभएको एकैचोटि एउटा जेनेरेसनले एकदम धेरै पाउँदाखेरि अनि त्यो मेबी त्यो राम्रो त भइरहेको छैन नि सिस्टमलाई हेल्थ वाइज त मिठो खाएर रेस्ट गर्न पाइरहेछ जो चाहिँ वुड वर्क डे एन्ड नाइट त्यो खालको जातले नेपाली जातले डाँडा काँडा कुद्ने जातले एकैचोटि मिठो खाएर ढल्न पाइरहेछ त्यो पहिला त मोटो भन्ने बित्तिकै इट वाज लग्जरी मान्छेलाई मोटो बन्न मन लाग्थ्यो मोटो बन्न सक्दैन थियो त्यो त संसारभरि होला तर नेपालमा एकदमै धेरै हो नि त त्यो ट्रान्सफर्मेसन मेबी छिटो आयो कि
So in terms of like, yes, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, we're way behind ni. Our nutrition अनि fitness level यताउति भन्नेमा
फिटनेस नलेज नै छैन खासै
खासै छैन भने अहिले चाहिँ छ. It's getting there, okay? It's not
तर
where it should
we
be.
looking at the cities नि
Yeah.
हैन
True.
नेपालमा हेर्ने हो त साँच्चीकै छैन म आई वेन्ट वर्कआउट गर्न जिममा एउटा 2018 मा when I was almost 30
Yeah.
त्यतिखेर म बुझिरहेको छु ए प्रोटिन ए ओके क्यालोरिज के थाहा छैन क्या लाइक वर्कआउट यसरी हुँदो रहेछ यस्तो रहेछ फिटनेसको बारेमा केही थाहा नै थिएन
त्यो त bro, it's one of the most underlooked things in our country, man. I've said this 1,000 times. They want to, you can't have development without fucking healthy people in there, man. हुन्छ नि डेभलप जति गरे पनि कामै भएन नि मान्छे नै मरिरहेछ भने त 50 वर्षको उमेरमा गएर मान्छे नै मरिरहेछ. What's the fucking point? Like, why is this not addressed? Why is fitness and health and food and your diet and nutrition so underlooked? Why is it swept under the carpet, man? I've been saying this shit like a madman for years now, man. But it's just मैले भन्दाखेरि because I'm a gym owner, it just seems like I have an agenda, you know. But even before I was gym owner, these are things. This is something I realized on my own as I was fighting. In the beginning, when I first started fighting, I thought I was a tough guy. I'm fight गर्न थालेछ medals जितेछ. I was like, I'm the shit भन्ने भएको थियो. And I'd look at people and McDonald's like I'd be eating a McDonald's burger and मान्छे salad खाँदा I'd be that dick के salad खाइरहनु जिस्काइरहने मान्छे. But as the years went by and as the fights पनि झन् धेरै हुन थाल्यो, then I realized the importance of eating healthy just for my performance सुरुमा. And then performance छोडेर now as you get old, you realize, man, I was putting poison into my system. And the timing that I was doing it in, the crap that I was eating, that's not what त्यो त हामीले खानलाई बनाएकै कुरा होइन नि. It's not meant for human for human beings to eat. So त्यो हिसाबमा, and especially in outside Kathmandu, outside the cities, Kathmandu, I think that's a massive in Nepal, that's a massive thing that people really need to look into, man. Like, this is going to have long-term repercussions because you can't beat diseases and illnesses by turning a blind eye, man. And address त गर्नु पर्यो नि. अनि किन भएको हो भन्दाखेरि त फिटनेस पुगेन or diet मिलेन or nutrition मिलेन यस्तो कुराहरू त address त गर्नु पर्यो नि त. If people are dying of gut health, and it's a big problem, man. If people have like heart problems at the age of 50 or 45, it's a big problem ni. त्यसमा त लाइफस्टाइलमा चेन्ज आउनु पर्यो.
एभरेज लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेन्सी नै इट्स लाइक इट्स गोना गो डाउन. अब पोल्युसन त द्याट्स समथिङ मेबी वी कान्ट कन्ट्रोल एज इन्डिभिजुअल्स. तर म पनि धेरै भएको छ नि 2-3 विक्स भयो. आई लाइक हुन्छ नि अलिक चलिरहन्छु लाइक हामी त क्यामरा अर साइक्लिङ अर फुटसल कि जे भने गरिरहन्छु तर त्यो इट्स फन वेमा चाहिँ गरिरहेको थियो. तर अहिले चाहिँ आइएम ट्राइन पुट इन द्याट वर्क किनकि त्यस्तै रहेछ कि ब्रो. एट वान पोइन्ट लाइफमा एज अ यङ पर्सन युर सुपर स्ट्रङ जे खाए नि पल्छ नि त्यो बेला कसैलाई के मतलब हुँदैन रहेछ. एन्ड मेबी 30sहरूतिर पुगेपछि अघि भनेको अनुसार वी माइट बी आई मस्ट अलमोस्ट द सेम एज नै होला. तर 30 क्रस भइसकेपछि नाउ आई रियलाइज भाइ अङ्कल ड्याड दाइहरू किन छिटो उठेर गर्न थाल्छ किनकि त्यसपछि चाहिँ ओके अब मेरो प्राइम हो. अब इफ आई डोन्ट डु समथिङ अबाउट इट मलाई आई सरी टु से तर मलाई चाहिँ आफ्नो पेट लाग्ने बित्तिकै आई फिल लाइक आई एम लुजिङ के लाइफमा के त्यो पेट अलिकति आउँछ नि ब्रो. त्यसपछि ओ नो आई निड टु डु समथिङ. मलाई यो हुनु छ. आई डोन्ट वान बी द्याट पर्सन. सरी होइन मैले कसैलाई त्यस्तो भन्न खोजेँ होइन. तर त्यो भनेको यु आर नट अर्गनाइज्ड, यु आर नट लभिङ यर सेल्फ. you're being lazy.
Oh, you're not healthy either.
Yeah.
Main त
त्यही नै लाग्छ कि मलाई चाहिँ
कतिले भन्छ नि साइन अफ हेल्थ वेल्थ एन्ड प्रस्पेरिटी गर्दै पेट हान्ने भन्छ I mean, I
त्यो
understand
रोग
that.
पालिरा नै हो कि बेसिकली हैन
It's not good for you, man. Like, you're harming your own body. अहिले पो ठिक छ त, you're alive and everything's fine. And one day, if God forbid something bad happens, then I promise you, you won't feel that way about your stomach. Where you feel like, oh, this is a sign of prosperity. It's not. It's a sign of unhealthiness. And मैले जहिले भन्छु कि एज अ फिटनेस प्रोफेसनल आजकल त अब ओबिस भन्नु फ्याट भन्नु त इज पोलिटिकली अलमोस्ट इनकरेक्ट नि त बट आई अलवेज से लाइक व्हेन अ फिटनेस प्रोफेसनल टेल्स यु वी आर नट टेलिङ यु फ्रम एन एस्थेटिक पोइन्ट अफ भ्यू क्या हेर्दा राम्रो देख्यो देखेन भन्नेकै होइन क्या इट्स जस्ट द्याट त्यसले के गरिरहेको छ वाट इज इट डुइङ टु यर सिस्टम वाट इज इट डुइङ टु यर बडी आर यु रियली विलिङ टु टेक द्याट काइन्ड अफ ड्यामेज बिकज ड्यामेजै हो नि अनि त्यो चेन्ज गर्नलाई it's so simple. All you need is a little bit of discipline in your life. Okay? A little bit of discipline. The ability to say no every once in a while. You पनि खान्छु त्यो पनि खान्छु यहाँ पनि जान्छु त्यहाँ पनि त्यो FOMO हुन्छ नि. Just get rid of that, man. Like the ability to say no every once in a while is so important.
What would you suggest जब चाहिँ those are like एकदमै maybe let's say they can't afford to go to a gym, any gym, who have limited resources, like अब नर्मली दाल भात खाने है सो दाल भात बनाउँदाखेरि झ्याम 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 खाइदिन्छ द दाल भात ओभर खानु पनि लाइक एनिथिङ नराम्रो हो नि त सो वाट वुड यु सजेस्ट टु अ नर्मल पर्सन जोसँग चाहिँ हु डजन्ट ह्याभ अ लट अनि उसलाई चाहिँ कसरी हेल्दी लाइफ बनाउनको लागि चाहिँ वाट वुड यु सजेस्ट द सिम्पलेस्ट अफ थिङ्स
द सिम्पलेस्ट इज stay away from processed food, number one. Anything that comes in a packet, you don't want to have. Anything that comes with an expiration date, you don't want that in your system. Simplest thing. Second thing is, does this person have a smartphone? Does this person have a TikTok account or Instagram account? त्यो छ भने त YouTube पनि छ. There's so much of information out there. All you need is 20 minutes in your day. 20 minutes like you pick a workout, any workout, okay? Any workout. Most people spend a lot of time not doing their workout because I don't know which workout to do. Fuck, just do something. If you're doing something, regardless of what it is, it's better than not doing anything.
20-30 मिनट दिनमा एक्चुअली गऱ्यो भने पनि डिफरेन्स त परिहाल्छ हैन
That's all you need. It's all you need.
ए हो
Yeah. If you look at CrossFit ko workoutहरू like they have so many Fran भयो, Fat Amy, all of these workout names. The entire workout of the day does not last, is anywhere from minimum 7 minutes, I think. And maximum is 45 minutes. It doesn't go beyond that. It depends on what you want to do. But if you're just a regular person who wants to live a normal, average, regular life and remain fit, then the 20 minutes, man. When I say average, I don't mean like average. I mean physically with your athletic abilities. So it's 20 minutes to 30 minutes in a day. If you just do that, so that's it. Stay away from processed food. Stay away from oily food. होइन सकेसम्म त्यो तेल मसला भएको खानेहरू धेरै नखाने यस इट टेस्ट गुड एभ्री वान्स इन अ वाइल एउटा मिडल पाथ खोज्नु पऱ्यो नि त यु कान्ट बी आई टेल पिपल के यु कान्ट बी द्याट गाई एट अ बर्थडे पार्टी वान लाइक अ लिटल किड कम्स एन्ड गिभ्स यु केक एन्ड यु लाइक नो 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 आम अन अ डायट त्यस्तो पनि हुनु भएन बट एट द सेम टाइम यु कान्ट बी द गाई हगिङ अप द केक अल्सो क्या यु जस्ट गट हेभ द्याट
balance of course. What's your thing? What do you do for your workout and for food? What do you do? Sunuma.
I eat a lot of meat, man. That's so there's things that I'm not perfect either. I know I should be taking more vegetables, but I don't have as many vegetables as I can. I try to make up with like other things like supplements, but I try to make up. But supplement, I'm not very heavy on it. But the thing is, I've been an athlete my whole life, man. Like before this, I used to play basketball. मैले इन्डियामा नि खेल्थेँ स्टेट लेभलसम्म खेलेको थिएँ अनि then यहाँ आएर एकचोटि नेसनल लेभलसम्म खेलेको थिएँ and right after that I got into this. Like I had 2-3 years where I messed up my life, but I got into fighting. त्यो पछि एथलेटिक उयो भएर in a way muscle memory ले गर्दा नि होला and plus when I was fighting हामीले weight cut गर्ने weight gain गर्ने गरिरहनु पर्थ्यो so my body is kind of responsive that way. I'm blessed. But I just stay away from dessert or सकेसम्म चाहिँ I don't try to go crazy with that, especially if it's like candy and stuff. If it's a cake or something that's baked at home, I trust that a little bit more. Psychologically, I think it makes a difference. But fried food, I stay away from that. Junk food, I stay away from.
That's a lot of not eating out, neither.
No, man. You don't have to have junk. Like, you can have the fried chicken or you can have like the grilled chicken, you know what I mean? So if you just choose the grilled over the fried, you're already making a slightly healthier choice. And the packet ko khana chahi nahani.
Do you make your restaurant choices that way?
Yeah. Well, mithan tei lagsa ke bro, honestly. Because I don't know if you notice it, but after you binge eat stuff that you're not, it feels uneasy.
Yeah.
And the older you get, the longer that uneasiness lasts for. 20s ma, you remember? एकैछिन ठिक हुन्थ्यो नि, you're hungry again. अहिले त अर्को 2 दिनसम्म नि
So I'm trying to make that ऊ पनि तर यस्तो हो मेरोमा चाहिँ अब त्यही हो होम फुड I'm in the office all the time. Home food यति मिठो हुन्छ मासु भात all the time oily as it can get अनि खाएको खाइ हुन्छ अनि I'm trying to like replace गर्नु पर्ने भइरहेछ.
And मासु भात त ठिक छ, like I don't say मासु भात खानु हुँदैन के, like खाने हो जुन लिमिटमा खाने हो, you can't go crazy with the rice.
टु मिठो छ कि सो खाएको खाइ हुन्छ कि धेरै मिठो नि खानु हुँदैन.
यो कम गर्ने के, oil चाहिँ कम गर्ने. These things that come out of packet, like you don't want it.
For workout, what's your thing?
So
किनकि अब यो र टिचर नि त गुरु नै भइसकेपछि कति धेरै देख्छ नि गुरुहरूले खासै त्यो दे डोन्ट एक्चुअली किनकि त्यो मेन्टली नै होइन मेन्टली पनि होला क्या अर समथिङ द्याट अब म गर्दिनँ टाइपको अब मेबी बोलेर मात्रै गरेर हुन्छ नि त. So
no man, मेरो त so my 2 girls they train 6 hours a day minimum, and in those 6 hours त्यसमा at least 3 hours चाहिँ मसँगै हुन्छ where I'm training with them, whether it's holding pads or sparring or whether we're doing drills. So I get a lot of exercise with the 2 of them. And then whenever I can, I go to the weight section and try and be a little vain. I'll lift contractors. But it's not like, it's so funny saying that as a gym owner, but I'm so used to just, हामीले मुई थाई गर्दाखेरि खासै हामीले गराउँदैनथ्यो क्या strength and conditioning. And that's one of my biggest that's where I think I could have done better when I was fighting, because I didn't have a strength and conditioning program. I didn't have a nutritionist. So it was just like you feel your way through. But now it's in there. So these guys, they all do. It's a big thing, strength and conditioning. But I do Muay Thai, and then I kind of go towards bodybuilding because so you don't want to be ugly. Uglier, at least for me. So yeah, but I try and do weights every 2-3 days. Sakyo bhane garo लाग्छ गर्नु, but I push myself through it, and that in a way I like that challenge, yeah, because it's something that I fucking hate doing. So the day I know I have to do weights, it's like fuck, I don't want to do this, but to actually push yourself through that when you feel that way, and it's like a different kind of way of feeling. Yeah? I like that. Because I love it so much, I don't feel like I've put in work. You know what I mean? I feel like I've just gone and I did the thing I enjoy doing the most. Time waste गरेछ
यो वेट्समा त लाइक मसल पनि पम्पै भएको फिल हुन्छ नि त, that feel extra robotic त फिल हुन्छ, तर लाइक you feel that pump नि. Okay, so अलिकति फाइटबाट आई थिङ्क अलिकति डिफ्रेन्ट डिरेक्सन छ. मैले जिम खान आउँदाखेरि ठक्क यसो हेरेको त्यो पार्किङमा तिम्रो दामी हुन्छ नि, द पिकअप ट्रक द्याट आइएम प्रिटी स्योर तिमीलाई पहिलादेखि नै लिन मन थियो. अनि लाइक तिमीले लिने बित्तिकै कहीँ गयो लाइक नेक्स्ट डे
आज राति स्टोर पनि गयो, भोलि बिहानै गयो.
कहिले लियो तिमीले?
2018, but it's a funny story, man. Like that, I think the truck gives off a very wrong impression of who I actually am to a lot of people.
होइन जिम खाना छ त्यहाँ पछाडि फोर्ड रेन्जर छ होइन, रेन्जर होइन, सो हेर्न बित्तिकै रिच किड भाइब आउँछ क्या पिकअप ट्रकले. किनभने इट्स अलमोस्ट इम्पोसिबल फर अ नर्मल एभरेज पर्सन टु बाई नि, लाइक 1 करोड प्लसहरू परिदिन्छ अहिले त झन्. आई थिङ्क तिमीले लिँदाखेरि अलिकति कम पऱ्यो होला, तर like unfair छ क्या नेपालमा to buy something. It's a dream that I've been longing for also. तर त्यसको लागि I'm patient enough to wait. I'll grind. I'll reach there. तर looking at you अलिकति हुन्छ नि छ यार त्यो चाहियो जस्तो हुन्छ मलाई.
Thanks brother. But come on man, like to put it very plain, अहिलेसम्म त्यो गाडीको तिर्नलाई मैले हाफ प्लेट मोमो मात्रै खाइरहेको छु. I can't afford a fucking full plate. But seriously भन्दा, but it's a car I've wanted for so long, okay, brother. like so long, man.
I'm there. I'm there.
And
The line में छु म.
for 4 years, मेरो फोनको wallpaper थियो क्या. 4 years. Every night सुत्नुभन्दा अगाडि I used to look at the car and I knew everything about the car, man. The day I actually got to go to the showroom, for the first time, they were explaining, sir, you say something. Just sit down, man. Like, I know what's in it. But God, brother, the day that I was going to buy the truck, halfway into, I was going with my dad. Dadko gaadi ma gairako thiye. Halfway, I almost had a panic. I was like, Papa, I think this is a fucking mistake, man. Like, turn the car around. Comes in here, in my head, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And then my parents, I told you, they're very supportive. Okay? And they're like, you know yourself, right? If you think you can work hard enough to afford it for yourself, then go for it. And so, can I afford it right now? No, I can't afford it. I know that for a fucking fact, I can't afford it. But am I willing to do what it takes to afford it? I didn't have a doubt in my mind. Okay? I'll fucking work my ass off, man. And then I was like, if I put myself in that position where I have to make this much and I have to make this payment, then just didn't go.
Did it work?
It worked. Like, it's still with me.
No. Like, putting yourself in that pressure that you have to pay at least this much.
I love that, yeah. I love
Does that
work
work in life? Like, try
for me, the brother, I have to put myself out there. Okay? I'll put myself in a situation where I'm not comfortable.
I seriously want to go to the showroom after this, man.
I think so, man. Like, the thing is, I really wanted it, Nita. I'm not telling everybody, hey, go to put yourself in that position.
I know. I feel the exact same thing. Bro, मैले लगभग 20 जस्तो पिकअप ट्रकको पेजहरू चाहिँ फलो गर्छु. वालपेपर चाहिँ छैन. वालपेपर चाहिँ अहिले लायनको छ क्या. मलाई लायन हुनु मन छ.
Nice, man. I think you're getting there too, in a lot of ways.
अनि पिकअप ट्रक चाहिँ that's some कहाँ गयो ब्रो स्टोरी पिकअप ट्रक स्टोरी
so then अब त्यो पनि it's not like मैले यतिकै गएर क्याश डाउन गरेर तिरेर आएको हैन. We had to figure it out the long way, and I have no shame in saying this, man, because it's my own hard work.
Bro, you fucking earned it, man.
Yeah, so
either ways, the good thing that I like about that you did it is किनभने 45-50 पुगेपछि त कहाँ जान्छौ यार तिमी.
Exactly.
एज छैन नि त. सो मलाई पनि अनफेयर छ. द्याट्स द्याट अनफेयर छ नेपालमा किनकि द्याट्स अ ड्रिम. द्याट्स सो ओभर प्राइस ड्रिम हो नि त त्यो. यु शुड बी गेटिङ इट फर वाट 40-50.
या इजी म्यान
होइन. सो अब 1.5 भन्छ कि. सो त्यसमा मोडिफाई पनि गर्नु पर्यो. सो एकदमै महँगो कुरा हो नि त. तर यु वेन्ट इन देयर एन्ड युर लिभिङ इट के. लाइक 3-4 वर्ष भइसक्यो. वर्थ इट त छ होला अफकोर्स.
100% worth it. Every time I sit in it, it's like it still feels like the first day. Yeah? It still feels like it's the first ride, man. And like I said, the next day, I mean, you'll get there, brother.
More satisfied ones. I know. I obviously get
I mean, to be honest, I think like you're holding yourself back at this point, yeah? Because I think you can actually walk in there tomorrow and make the down that I made, and you'll make it work, brother.
The thing is, I'm so sure कि म त्यो गाडी लिएर चाहिँ अब कहाँ जान्छु कति महिना फिर्ता आउँदैन.
त्यो चाहिँ न. मैले next day नै, bro. Next day I went to Rara.
मलाई फोकस चाहिएको छ हैन. To have that is not a big deal. To become a person who can handle that car and that still manage distract नहुने. I'll get there. मलाई चाहिँ फ्री टाइममा लिनु मन छ. Once I do something important अनि मलाई अलिकति हुन त हामी जस्तो मान्छेको फ्री टाइम कहिले हुँदैन. तर अहिले I'm on a different grind के. मेरो फोकस चाहिँ अर्को ठाउँमा छ के. अनि indeed I am holding myself back. किनभने त्यो एकचोटि पाउन बित्तिकै like I got this तल एउटा साइकल बानिरहेको थियो. So I got this new bicycle. At least I'm going every morning. It drives me के.
True.
कस्तो स्याड छ फिट साइक्लिङ गर्नलाई नि महँगो साइकल किने चाहिँ मतलब माइन्डै त्यस्तो छ नि त. अब त्यो गाडी छ होइन. त्यो गाडी किन भने अभियसली आई ट्राई टु युटिलाइज इट नि. त्यत्रो पैसा खर्च गरेर म त जान्छु होला नि त. त्यो द्याट ब्यालेन्स्ड पर्सन बन्नु मन छ. अनि मेबी देन आइल गो.
तर I mean, sometimes like everything works out and then you do it, and other times you do it and then things will just work out for you on its own. So I fall into the second category, and where I like.
You bought it out from the showroom, brand new, Okay.
They played the music and everything. Cake still last long. But I was literally like halfway there. I was like, that fucking nagane. And there so how I got it was I had booked it, but they said it'll take a month for the color that I have and the model.
It's silverish.
Yeah. So they said it would take a month. So I was like, fine, but especially like you're waiting for something, right? And then one day they called me. They're like, oh, we can have it by the end of the week. But tapai त्यो गाडी लिएर next day you have to go to Rara and can you represent Ford? I was like, all I heard was end of the week, man. I didn't hear anything else. I was like, bring it, bro. Just give me the car. I got it, and then next morning.
Some Ford rally.
No, त्यो Imagine Nepalको भएको थिएन.
Okay.
Imagine Nepalको ट्रिपमा के. So they done one to Rara, and they Ford was I think one of the sponsors, and उनीहरूले चाहिँ they wanted to send the
discount also.
Yeah, discount. Yeah. They're good. Ford, the guys at Ford. Yeah, guys at Ford. They're good. So they give me a good discount also. And next day, that's where I met Saik Charles.
Okay.
Yeah. So randomly next day, Rara
गाडी पनि बाइक गाडीमा बस्ने मान्छे नि
गाडीमा बस्ने मान्छे त after we came back बोल्नु पर्छ, but yeah. But it was funny, man. अब कहिले कुदा छैन हैन. I was driving an old Hilux before that, yeah. I had a 2001 Tiger Hilux. Man, I love that truck too. But अति पुरानो भइसक्यो थियो. त्यो त सानो छ नि त यो रेन्जर हेरी त. And the Ranger is really fast, man. त्यो Hilux त 0 to 60 in about 60 minutes टाइपको थियो.
2001 यो कतिवटा भिडियो हेर्ने मान्छे त 2001 मा जन्मै नै हुँदैन.
So त्यसले गर्दाखेरि the next morning when I drove, मलाई बल्ल I think नौबिसे कटेर बल्ल हात लाग्यो. I was like, okay, now I can like relax. I had to take a piss. The door leg. I had to take a piss. Come back. All right, I got this, and then I drove. Oh yeah, man. It's one of the maybe the dumbest things I've done in my life, buying the car, because I know I couldn't afford it at that point, but also one of the most rewarding things I've done in my life. Okay? I did that for me. Like that's one thing I can say I did. Fuck everything else.
Nice. That's really motivating, यार. I think तिमीले दुई तीनटा कुरा भनेको थियौ अघि नदेखि लिएर that you can't buy what the time you put into it and to this. Also, जहाँ चाहिँ यति धेरै स्ट्रेस भइरहेछ फाइटबाट यु ट्राइङ टु डु फाइट्स जुनले चाहिँ पैसाको प्रब्लम इस्युज अलरेडी देयर छ बट यु स्टिल गोइङ फर यर ड्रिम. मलाई त्यस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ एकदम इन्सपायरिङ लाग्छ किनकि देयर इज नो कम्प्रोमाइज के. अनि आई ट्राई टु बिल्ड पिपल अराउन्ड मी पनि त्यही बेसिसमा क्या. त्यो आफूलाई इन्सपायरिङ लाग्छ नि त. मेबी यु क्यान बी फ्रेन्ड्स एन्ड ह्याङ आउट अल द टाइम तर ह्याभिङ यु हियर it's always त्यो एनर्जी ट्रान्सफर भयो नि त.
Thank you, brother.
So some kind of belief दियो.
No, man, but I really believe when I look at you also and I see the work you put in and like the places you go to and you're hardly in one place and the amount of that it deserves a lot of respect. Okay? It really does. Okay? And I love seeing people do epic shit. Okay? For me, that's like one of my favorite things in life. Okay? To see people do great things and I don't have to be the one doing great things. Okay? Tupakle भने I will not change the world, but I guarantee you I will spark the brain that will change the world. It's the same thing. Okay? For me, I don't have to be the hero. Okay? But if I watch someone do something they love and they do it with all their heart and they enjoy it and they make something epic out of it, and I look at the stuff you do and I'm like, man, this guy is living the life. Like you're just out there living it, and I'm so fucking happy for you, man. Like I'm really happy for you because
thank you, man.
You deserve it, man. You've put in the work. You've put in the years and made the sacrifices. There's a lot that people don't see, but I haven't seen your story, but I know that you didn't just get here. And for anybody to come here is to get to where you are. It takes a lot of work, man. How can you not respect someone who will put in the work?
I'll have to agree, but like you, I'm sure you can also relate. मेरो मा चाहिँ अझ बढी हो like फेस त छ आफू तर इट्स अलवेज अबाउट द टिम के. अनि देयर्स अलवेज पिपल कम्प्लेनिङ नेपालमा मान्छे भेट्दैन यताउति तर त्यो सर्चिङ प्रोसेस र त्यो रिलेसन बनाउने प्रोसेस र त्यो बिल्डअप नै इट मेमोरिज मात्रै बन्दा छैन क्या त्यहाँ. इट्स क्रिएटिङ समथिङ डिफरेन्ट. सो मलाई चाहिँ एभ्री टाइम दिस कम्स अप आई अलवेज वान्ट टु मेन्सन द टिम लाइक यहाँ नै यु क्यान सी देयर सम वान किनकि यहाँ आएर हामी बोलेर मात्रै त के हुँदैन. To pass this energy, we always need someone. So it's always like I'm one among 10, 15. So I get the thing that I want to pass it to the team always.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, I mean, I think we get too caught up in us wanting to be the hero almost all the time. Okay? And then we watch a fighter we watch a fighter fight and then he gets on top of the cage after a knockout and we picture ourselves there. And but sometimes we got to realize maybe we're not meant for that. Maybe our journey is to send someone else there. I say it in terms of a fight because that's all I relate with it. But like you said, if another filmmaker made it really big, you would feel a lot of pride. It's the same thing.
Yeah, feel नै हुन्छ to see the whole thing लेफ्ट एन्ड पडकास्ट भन्ने बित्तिकै कहाँबाट कुरा इलोन मस्कमा आइपुग्छ क्या अनि आई वन्ट टु म फेरि पनि भन्छु यो हतारी भएपछि वाक्क हुँदैन होला कि वी लुक एट हेम होइन छ होइन तर ऊ बन्नको लागि उसको 5-6 घन्टा मात्रै सुत्छ कति काम गर्छ हामीले त्यो सुनिरहेको इलोन मस्क जस्तो हुनुपर्छ भनिरहेको छ नि त तर आई एम प्रिटी स्योर उसको स्पेस एक्स होस् या टेस्ला होस् त्यहाँ ऊभन्दा धेरै कम सुतेर धेरै मेहनत गर्ने उसको टिमको मेम्बर्स छ द्याट गिभ्स इलोन टाइम टु गिभ इन्टरभ्युज बिल्ड हिज इमेज एन्ड एभ्रिथिङ नि हि इज लिडिङ इट तर जहिले पनि मलाई त टिममा भन्दा टिम लिडर त छ तर मेम्बर्समा पनि लाइक
एब्सोल्युटली
like you also have a decent team होला नि
so the thing is सानैदेखि wherever I go I always suddenly have a tribe that's my own के you know what I'm saying
सबै कुरा रिफ्लेक्ट हुन थाल्छ
त्यस्तै हुन्छ नि जहाँ गए पनि like whether I went to India whether I went to Thailand I would always like automatically find a tribe and then I'd have that tribe around me and that loyalty was not something that I would ever have to question or they would ever have to question from me because I give loyalty so I guess I expect that back as well. Until you said much, I have people might think my team is a lot bigger than it is, but the team that I actually depend on, it's a very small team, and I would take a bullet for them, knowing that they would do it for me any day. And Tilson, you're absolutely right, man. You can never get to any point in life if you don't have like a strong team behind you. You can't do it on your own, man. I mean, maybe you can, but it's more fun when you have a team. It's just easier and more fun, and
you just can expand more. It's like 5 of you.
Journey in Ramailun, bro.
You evolve into the same mindset.
True.
Same person ne bhayirahach. That's how conquerors conquered.
But it's very important to like be selective about that.
And that teaches you.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Sorry, I'm completing your sentence all the time.
No, but you're just reading my mind, bro. It does.
I think same age, same circumstances, kind of this is all the
similar. What you do is like, I mean, Amrupats, although what we do as a profession might be different.
But as a whole, this is both service based and it's very personal.
Yeah.
It's very personal 100%. Because you're not selling dumbbells neither. You're teaching people. So you're sharing your knowledge or kunai kisimko service ne ho. So for that the people you select have to have that mindset. So you're also I have to have that. We are giving product. I know that this is something that's mold. So we're not selling cameras, we're selling the creativity or whatever. The honesty or whatever it is. So the belief system नै छ हामीले गरिरहेको.
Definitely.
So maybe we can relate अझै पनि.
Yeah. Plus now when we talk about things that are similar, you know everybody's going to talk about the whole you know what everybody's going to say, right? When we talk about similarities, comes down to the same thing. I have no idea.
No idea.
Yeah, but I mean uncanny stuff, but I guess like passionate people are like that, man, and I think like there's one thing that I believe in. I believe there's a rule of 3 P's. Paper, passion, and principle. So paper being money, and you should always I always say you should put your passion above paper. You should always put your principles above your passion. Because passion ko nama people do a lot of fucked up things, and people will passion killing garecha manchele. In the name of passion, people do a lot of fucked up things. So you have to have principle. And I believe that. There, I kind of relate with you because I think that you do things in a more ethical way, where there is another way that you could take that would probably make it easier for you. But I feel
like kill me inside.
Exactly, and I can respect that because most people will put passion before money, but they will not put their principle before their passion.
That's very beautifully put, man. From what kind of work we do. Principles भन्ने त कुरा छैन and we want to stick to our thing, we want to be genuine. A lot of things that we do might suck, might हुन्छ नि हाम्रो attemptsहरू fail भइरा होला तर principles have to be there. Ani
no harm in failing, man, as long as you know
you keep on trying. किनकि हरेक कुरा हरेक स्टेप मान्छेको राम्रो हुनु भनेको लाइक मेरोमा चाहिँ from where I stand like 10वटा स्टेपमा एउटा स्टेप मात्र राम्रो भयो नि लाइक पुग्छ कि मान्छेलाई धेरै स्ट्रेस लिनु पर्दैन फ्रम वेयर आई एम लाइक राम्रो ट्राई मात्रै गर्यो बेला बेला राम्रो हुने हो नि त आई पुट अप समथिङ द्याट इन्सपायर्स यु maybe once in 6 months होला के you can't expect every time के किनकि त्यो त it's unhuman, it's not something possible. दिन त fight गर्दैन नि. So you have something in a few time or something के होला. Sometimes you have to face failure. And it's a life ongoing process नै रहेछ. So recently पनि like okay, I am the leader of this thing, तर I have got so many things that I just realized, okay, now I'm going to take that good step. I'm going to be this, or maybe step back, have someone in there. So this is the good. So I'm अलिकति vague सुन्नेला मान्छेलाई तर inside my head I kind of loudly भन्नु नि मन छैन तर feel मात्र भनिदिनु मन छ.
It's never ending though. The grind and the hustle is never ending.
So I think Raul यसो गर्नु पर्ला. I think हामी अब अहिले कुरा गऱ्यो भने we'll talk about something very different and अझ लामो हुन्छ. But what I want to do with you is I want to have you as a person जसलाई चाहिँ बेला बेला बोलाउन मिल्छ if it's good.
Awesome man. I'd love to.
अनि आजको एनर्जी I think यही एन्ड गर्नु पर्ला जस्तो लाग्छ. Thank you so much for coming man.
Thank you brother.
Thank you so much. Cheers गरौँ अनि please actually last हामीलाई एन्डमा केही if you have something to say to the people or to end this thing. Normally we have people singing. Do you?
No man.
सबैलाई गीत गाउन लगाइदिने. If you have something to say, like if there's something coming up or just generally केही ending note दिनको लागि.
Nothing much man, like you know me, I'm real as it gets, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to like know shit that I don't. I'm not better than it. I'm malko advice, you know. The fact that I'm even here sometimes to me is like, man, what am I doing here? Like, what did I do to get here? And suddenly, because in a good way, okay? Like I must have done something right, but it's like, and it's great validation. It's nice catching up with you, bro. It's been a long time since we got to sit down and talk as well. There's always been in a hustle. So it's nice to actually get to know you and like, you know.
That's why this place is special for me, man. And the thing is, सानो कुरा, to just let you know, मान्छे धनी हुने or काहीँ पुग्ने, social status होस् या digitally कुनै उसको subscribe whatever के or लाइफमा काहीँ accomplishment पाउनेमा चाहिँ there's always one thing, त्यो चाहिँ पुग्छ होला हैन, तर त्यो प्रोसेसमा नै the intention and the hard work you put that stayed with me के बुझ्यो. So Raul Moktan भन्ने बित्तिकै I don't care what happens in life, where you'll go हैन, तर मेरो दिमागमा चाहिँ that person is doing something जुन चाहिँ अहिले हामीले कुरा गरिरहेको छौँ हैन, to have fight nights and this and that. त्यो मान्छेले त्यो बेलादेखि सोचे यार दामी दिमाग भनेर पछि भन्छ. Trust me man, भन्छ कि maybe you'll have gray hair हुन्छ नि त्यतिखेर, you'll have children whatever, तिमी कहाँ पुगिसक्छौ होला, तर one day that'll happen. One day we'll talk about it again.
I hope so.
तर your intention, your hard work देखेर चाहिँ your vibe gave us something that inspired us. Thank you man. Thank you for whatever you've been doing.
Thank you for having me man.
Awesome man.
Awesome. All right bro.
Cheers bro.
Cheers bro.
Okay, signing off man.
All right.
Awesome.
And guys, you too. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.